so bad, you should eat a lot of it.
They say hunger is the best spice. Hunger is the best spice. Story. There once was a tiger-striped cat. This cat died a million deaths, revived and lived a million lives, and he was owned by various people who he didn't really care for. The cat wasn't afraid to die. Then one day, the cat became a stray cat, which meant he was free. He met a white female cat, and the two of them spent their days together happily. Years passed, and the white cat grew weak and died of old age. The tiger-striped cat cried a million times, and then he died too. Except this time, he didn't come back to life.
Yeah, it's a good story.
I hate that story. I never liked cats, you know that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Chat. My goodness. It's been what? A couple of days? A couple of hours? A couple of minutes? Many seconds? Many moons? Not too many moons, but relatively enough moons for hopefully my internet to see what it's doing and properly fix itself. So, yes, we hit 100 followers. We're going to try the 100 followers stream again, and we're going to be a little more chipper. We're going to be feeling better. Going to be level, and hopefully my internet doesn't crap out on me. But today is a very special day because while I was away, hoping my internet wouldn't kill itself, the Game Awards launched its nominees, and it is something that I always do. I always find time to vote for the nominees for Game of the Year, but this year I wanted to mix it up a little bit because I have a bunch of boys with me from my friend group and from my server, which I will link the server here in a few minutes after the voting session.
Yeah.
Boys, welcome.
What are you going for?
Welcome to the stream. How you boys doing?
Good. We were getting really acquainted.
We are getting very much acquainted, just catching up with like our Game of the Year
Very
choices
natural.
and other Game of the Year entries.
Just
that
Game of the Year,
around
because
the
everything
decade.
else we decided we wanted to debate on. That sounds fun.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like we were just deciding like what we should talk about and stuff. And I actually do have one good idea that we'll get into later.
Okay, for sure. So chat, it's time to do that annual tradition of Kodax voting for Game of the Year nominees. So as always, we start at the bottom and then work our way up to Game of the Year.
Are you live?
Yep, I'm live. Congratulations. You're live on Twitch today.
Let's go.
You popped your live Twitch cherry, son. I'm proud of you.
Wait, shit, hold up. Am I the only returning veteran here?
That's the only one.
No, I've been on.
Yeah, Casey's been on
Casey's
the stream.
been on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he was there.
I think I used it in my video last year.
Yeah,
actually.
because he was here for the
stream.
Game Awards last year.
Also, if anybody is wondering, yes, I'm the bitch that always yells at John when he's playing Spider-Man 2.
Yep. He's the one that's telling me to
sounds
keep
about
up the
right.
flare missions.
I'm telling you, dude.
No, I feel you.
Notorious for being inactive everywhere. So
Yeah, Casey's just the fly on the wall of every
you're
place.
graced
ever.
with my presence tonight.
I know, and I'm very glad.
I'm even graced with your presence. I don't even know you no more, dude.
Dude, I don't know myself no more.
Don't we all? That's a struggle all of us are facing. And then to the newcomer, oh god, that's the Discord. Oh no, what I do? Oh god. Don't look, chat.
What did you do?
Don't look. You saw nothing.
Don't expose the massive
I did.
amount of memes I send, even though I'd never send any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
Oh, dude, this looks so much better on desktop.
does it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I always hope for. It's just like best viewing experience for people. All right.
Oh shit, wait, I still gotta change my shit.
Yeah, probably a good idea to do that. Okay, so we're just going to start at the bottom again. Some of the bottom ones are not like ones that we need to talk about, but for best esports event, this is mandatory. It goes to Evo.
Oh, hold on,
No
can you
say-
link me that
no
exact
say
thing?
otherwise.
That's
No
it. I was just gonna say
That's
Evo
it.
because I know it.
Wait,
That's
hold
it.
on, John. Can you link that exact thing in the chat really quick?
I'll get you, Anthony. Don't worry.
Cool.
Oh, thank you, Casey.
Yeah. So again, chat. It goes to Evo. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Best esports event goes to Evo. It goes to Evo. With
I
that said,
picked
let's
Evo
keep
just
moving.
because I don't know what any of the others are.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, here we go.
That's exactly what I did.
So then,
Wait, so which one are we on right now? You said
At the very bottom, the very last one.
yeah, the very
That's
last one.
esports.
And then-
going from last all the way up.
yeah, exactly.
Correct.
That's all I do.
Oh,
So apparently one of
okay,
the
gotcha.
esports
We're gonna end Mute
coaches
Game of the Year.
who isn't even a coach.
Really? Who's that? Who is
I
that?
don't know. Someone said one of the nominees.
Well, if I had to throw it at somebody, I guess I'll throw it at Potter. I guess.
I was gonna say Potter because I like her tag.
Yeah, it's a fun tag. And then best esports team.
JD Gaming because I know them.
JD Gaming. Okay. We'll
Oh,
do
and
it
Team
out of-
Vitality because I know them. One of those two.
Okay, well, I already
Honestly,
picked
I'm gonna go
JD.
with Team. I'm
We're-
gonna go
we're
with Team
we're balling.
Vitality because Counter Strike. Actually, wait, no, League of Legends. Never mind. I'm going with JD Gaming.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody knows that one.
I'm going with safe options for this one at least.
Yeah, just
Faker's
go
fun.
just go completely safe options. I'll go Faker. I know that name.
Yeah, that's how I vote with esports. I love esports I love the idea of esports. I just don't
Yeah.
keep track of them. So
Exactly. And it's only a matter of time before we actually get like fighting game reps in esports, like athletes in training. So I really hope at some point in esports we can see Sonic Fox win an award again because my God, we need some more reps in fighting games. And the fact that Evo was there, I was just like, okay, it goes to Evo. No
Right.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. It goes strictly to Evo. Best esports game. I love the fact that PUBG Mobile
Honestly-
is considered esports game. Like PUBG
Yeah, I have
Mobile,
no
not
idea
desktop.
why that's
a
up there.
mobile game.
Mobile.
Honestly, okay.
so it's
I'm
not
thinking
Counter-Strike 2. It's not.
Motherfucker.
That game
I
is a
love-
tremendous
hold on.
downgrade from
Can
Go.
I just say I absolutely love how me and Casey say the exact opposite answers at the exact same time.
Correct.
It's
That is
very funny.
amazing. That
It
is
was-
amazing.
I've heard so much about it being a downgrade from CS:GO that I'm just like,
Yeah.
I have an hatred against it now.
That's
All right,
That's
so
kind
you
of what I
said
heard,
Valorant?
too.
Definitely not Valorant in my
Yeah,
opinion, but
no.
like League of Legends is very consistent, so that's what I gave it to.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go with PUBG Mobile because the fact that it's PUBG Mobile, not PUBG desktop.
You
or,
want
like,
it to
the
be a
actual game.
mobile.
No, it's
You just
it's,
want a
it's,
mobile game
it's
to
just
win.
the fact that it's mobile. I just find that fucking hilarious that it's not the actual like desktop version. It's the mobile version, which is even funnier. I just find
Hey,
that
fair enough.
hilarious. Okay, content creator of the year. This is one
Codex
that-
Prime!
I know. This is the one that I talked about. Where the hell is our boy Casey? Why is he not here?
Where is Casey?
Why is he not here?
Where's
Hey,
John?
yes, I get it. My Tears of the Kingdom video went viral, but like I don't level up to Iron Mouse yet. I'm not-
Did you piss off the
Don't get
Doritos
there.
Pope with your opinion or something? What the hell? Why are you not on here?
yeah, I told him that Mountain Dew Code Red was better than normal Mountain Dew, and he's like, "Oh, I disagree with that.
Wow.
All right, yeah, I can disagree with that as well. All right,
I'm
you know,
now
to be
no
honest
longer
with you-
allowed in the state of the Vatican City."
To be honest with you, I'm gonna go with Quackity because Quack.
Fair.
Iron
I
Mouse.
was going to
is what
admit
I
Iron
did.
Mouse because it's the only VTuber up there, and I have a lot of respect for VTubers.
Same. And that's kind of the thing that I wanted to talk about because my vote is going to Iron Mouse as well. She is the only VTuber that's up here, but she has kind of like built up the craze for VTubing in general. And not only that, she is one of like the only VTubers that isn't the like typical VTubers that you see of just like typical like PNG or JPEGs bouncing up and down with the big wobbly breasts. I'm looking at you, Shy Lily, but
Damn,
but
call
for the most part, Iron Mouse has been super consistent with her content, and she has given like a voice to a lot of people who are into niche stuff. I didn't know this at first, but apparently Iron Mouse is super into Kamen Rider, which I'm just like, okay, if you like
that's sick.
Kamen Rider already, you have my vote.
You can't fake that shit.
Yeah, you cannot fake the love for like tokusatsu shit. So the fact that she is like built her brand around like niche things and again built the VTuber craze that it is today, she absolutely deserves content creator of the year, like 100%.
Respect. I don't know what the fuck you just said, but respect.
Real.
I have separate amounts of like sons that I have two sons that listen, and then I have the one son that just does not listen. He's just like, that's too much text. I'm happy for you, but sorry
I'm
if
not
that
reading
happened to
all
you.
that. I'm not reading all that. Sorry if that.
I know
No,
for
to
a
be
fact,
honest.
I know your ass does not read giant blobs of text.
No, actually, the irony is I'm the one who sends them.
Oh
That's
yeah, true.
All right,
Okay.
Anthony, take this one away. I believe in you.
Most anticipated
All right.
game.
Final Fantasy VII.
My boy. That's my boy. He got this.
You already know. You already know what I voted for, even before we even got to.
Yeah,
it.
it's
That's
literally
I knew it. I knew it.
that's gonna steal it so easy.
Easily.
It's going to win. It's going to win. Listen, okay, but you know what? But you know what though? You know what though? I'm gonna give a little bit of credit though. Star Wars Outlaws does look really fun.
I also got to
Yeah,
give
but
credit
it's
to Hades too.
skeptical.
Hades 2 is taking a really cool turn, and I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah. And as much as I love seeing Tekken 8 on here, Rebirth is just going to take it because there's
Rebirth
no,
is 100%
Hades
gonna
and
win.
Tekken are way more niche, and people don't have a lot of faith in Outlaws right now.
yeah.
So
Even I would,
Not at the
gotta
moment.
Final
I would-
Fantasy.
We've hardly seen anything of Outlaws. At least the opening
Exactly.
trailer for Rebirth alone.
And the Yakuza games are, I think, way too niche to run away with the award, even though it is really
Yakuza's a
good.
ton of fun, but it's just I've heard that a lot of them either switch the gameplay up dramatically or are usually like kind of the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least it's like with the series, it either stays consistent or does different things, but still is within the realm of consistency with that series. So,
Yes.
but like,
That's a good way of explaining it.
but again, Rebirth is just going to take everything because
Rebirth, yeah.
like immediately after Remake, we were wondering where the hell this second game was going to be. So
I have
100%.
so many theories, so many ideas.
Dude, like, we're going to have so many streams talking about Rebirth when we get closer to launch. I'm going to be so excited for those streams.
I just want to see Daddy Sephiroth again. Like,
Same.
Dog, just
Let
put
him
the
step
game
on me.
back in.
Yeah.
that's
Plug it
real
back in.
though.
All
Just
right.
We
play
need
the
to do
game
that on a
over.
PS5.
No, I'm gonna be honest here. The literal like month before, I'm doing like a countdown thing, I guess, where I just play through all of Final Fantasy VII Remake again, along with Integrate, just that way I can stay completely up to date. Granted, I already am, but
Adaptation.
that game is just way too fun to not play over and over again. That's just me.
Good point. Hard mode was so much fun.
Hard mode was exactly what hard mode should be. It's not about like just making the enemies tough or anything. It's about giving you a handicap. Not having to be able to use any items, like healing items. You have to save all of that shit. That's hard. That is genuinely hard, and that's a great challenge that I think games took advantage
Best
of.
adaptation.
Yep. Best adaptation.
Mario movies.
No.
No.
Yeah,
No. You can't say anything about the Mario movie when
Mario
The Last of Us is up there.
Yeah.
It was a straight up just kid movie. Like, it was all over the place, so fast paced. It was good, but like, I don't know. So Twisted Metal was like a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, you did see
It
it.
was good, not bad.
Okay.
Last of Us.
Honestly, I would put the Mario movie and Twisted Metal kind of like the same area. Gran Turismo has never really interested me, and Nocturne's animation was kind of iffy sometimes.
I didn't know
So its animation was kind of iffy, and I think a lot of people didn't like Richter's voice actor. But I think everything that they got perfect is with The Last of Us. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was great adaptation.
I was just gonna say this wins abso-fucking-lutely. I stayed up for way past my bedtime to watch every single episode of The Last of Us. They did such an amazing job with The Last of Us. Like,
Pedro Pascal in general, dude. Oh my god.
for the pacing that the Mario movie didn't have, Last of Us nails its fucking pacing. Like, every single episode was just like either like one specific part of the game or just several different pieces of each part of the game, but condensed into like a very nice dish that you could just dine on every single night. And the fact that, like, again, it was Pedro Pascal and like several other really good actors within this project, again, they take the fucking cake with the acting and the emotions that you can feel. Last of Us was already fucking emotional to begin with, but this show nails that human emotion that the game has already set in place. It was so good. I loved Last of Us. I cannot wait for season 2 because I don't know what the hell they're going to do with part 2, but my friend CJ and I have agreed that they need to find an actor that nobody knows about for Abby. Like, she needs to have like no social media presence or footprint, and she needs to be
So
cast as
they
Abby.
literally just there were rumors percolating this week about that one girl. Oh my gosh, what was it? What was she just in? God, I gotta look this up.
Well, the fact that like she's already been in something, it already kind of like drops it down a grade for myself personally. I'm sure whoever they find, they're gonna make her a great Abby. It's just, again, I think for the character herself, she just needs to have no social media footprint, or at the very least, just like a
Caitlin
minor.
Dever.
Caitlin Dever.
Caitlin Dever. Let's see, Caitlin. She did mocap for what was it?
Oh, she was in like, I think it was like Booksmart or
Last Man
something.
Standing.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
Booksmart.
stuff that I haven't seen. But I forgot what game it was that she did mocap for.
Oh, okay.
So she's kind of, in video games.
Yeah.
She
A
is.
little bit.
She's kind of like that actor you're looking for, though. She's kind of in like those sort of unheard of films, like the ones that you'll like hear about but won't watch, kind of films.
Okay, I'm with it. So if that's the person
Uncharted
they got,
4,
okay, I'm with it.
Cassie in Uncharted 4, she did the mocap for.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Well,
So, yeah,
all right
if,
then.
If they're getting her, then ballin'. But yeah, Last of Us takes the cake for best adaptation. If that does not win and the Mario movie fucking takes it, I'm gonna laugh. But
I'm gonna laugh so
Dude,
hard.
honestly, you never know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
you
put it
never
past
you
anything.
never fucking know.
Nah,
But
to
I'm
be-
willing to
nah,
bet
to
my
be
left
honest.
nut Last of Us takes it.
Nah, to be honest with you, look, I'm just calling it right now. If previous Game Awards have anything to say about it, Last of Us is probably going to win that.
Like, just
Last
because
of Us Part
just because
2.
Last of Us Part 2 swept the entire show doesn't mean that Last of Us is going to take literally everything again. At least with
You don't
just
know
with this
that.
category.
This one
But
it
at least-
deserves to this time. It deserves
no,
to this time.
Deserves to this
It
time.
does-
It's not
deserves
rigged
to.
this
One,
time.
from what you guys say, I can see it.
Okay, so
All right.
best multiplayer. So
I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to go based off of what Casey said, and I'm going to possibly say Baldur's Gate 3.
Now,
Absolutely.
I would like to say
Diablo
something
doesn't
here.
deserve anything. Party Animals, I haven't played enough of. Street Fighter, maybe. Mario Bros. Wonder, no. It just
I
Baldur's
have
Gate
played
all the way.
0 games on this list.
Hey, I would like to say something here.
okay,
What's
state
up?
your case.
I love Baldur's Gate 3 so damn much.
He's not picking it.
Street Fighter 6 takes this. Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. You can play it multiplayer, yeah, and it's still pretty good multiplayer. But you completely ditch the companion system. You don't really get the character development. It is much, 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 much better in single player. There is so much more to do by yourself. Street
Tired of
Fighter
trying to-
6, I have not played Street Fighter with so many goddamn people since I think 2 in the arcades when I'd force some of my friends to go. This is such a multiplayer focused game, especially with the hub and
Oh, yeah.
testing out all of just everything that there is. There's so much multiplayer in Street Fighter 6, and also its core Street Fighter is amazing. So
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 is my vote.
See,
All right,
Baldur's
then.
Gate runs into that kind of real life D&D issue where it's you're trying to keep track of other people's storylines on top of your own storyline,
Not
and
I see
you trying to constantly hey, let me know when you're going into a cutscene because you can't always see that little ear pop up, and then you miss very important information. You're like, oh, what were you doing for the last 20 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I can
And
see
then-
that.
You also lose out on the companion system because companions are practically useless when you're in multiplayer. But the thing
Yeah.
is, with the companions, while you're playing with them in single player, they're so well ingrained into the story. I feel like
Yeah.
without,
You have to cast
I've
them.
played it multiplayer, but without the companions, you're kind of losing out on a significant part of the game that makes it so good.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Here I have. I've been trying to convince Jonathan to play with me, but
No,
now we just probably
I'm-
convinced him not to.
No, I'm convinced.
you should, though.
I played it a little bit at your house. I'm so game to play Baldur's Gate.
Oh
It's
yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
didn't put it down.
No, I did not put it down until we had to leave the house. But it's that whole D&D story campaign thing that I think it doesn't get best multiplayer. Again, I want to play it. I want to dedicate time and streams to Baldur's Gate 3. It's just going to take a lot of time before that. But see, my initial vote was going to go towards Mario Wonder because... Oh, I had to burp. I'm sorry. While it does stay true to the new Super Mario Brothers system to where you could have 4 people all at once, and there's that super chaotic realm, that chaos kind of gets lost in the online multiplayer. But again, the online multiplayer for Wonder is fantastic. I will stand to this to a T. I will stand on this hill to the day I die. Mario Wonder Online works great. I love the way that they handled multiplayer.
Oh,
but
I think you stepped away for this. Yeah, I was talking to them about how much you loved the online multiplayer, but playing it locally kind of seems like a nightmare because of how the camera tracks.
Yeah, it is, because the camera tracking and everything, it's basically the same kind of camera tracking and 4-player experience that New Super Mario Brothers had, which is fine. That's still fun, but it's a different type of multiplayer whether you're doing it local or online. It doesn't have like the same consistency as, say, something like Street Fighter 6 or Party Animals. So I would say Street Fighter 6 gets best multiplayer, because Casey basically nailed it on the head. This game has like multiplayer focused down to a T. The battle hub, everything that is focused around Street Fighter 6 is built around the idea of you, your friends, or randos online getting together and just throwing fists at each other. It stays the same everywhere you go, except if you go into World Tour, because that's World Tour, but then again, the main focus for Street Fighter 6 has always been the fighting and other people to fight.
Yeah, and then again, even some of the stuff you unlock in World Tour is for online communication and for online stuff.
Exactly.
Also, Baldur's Gate 3, if you want to play it multiplayer, play it for the chaos and not the story. Because do like a Dark Earth playthrough or something.
Do 2 campaigns, one
That's
solo,
hilarious.
one multiplayer.
Yeah, that's a fair one. All right, best sports/racing. I don't like how they grouped sports and racing together, but I guess racing is a sport. But
racing is technically a sport, yeah.
I love how most of the
technically a
typical sports games are just completely eliminated.
Yeah.
But then again, racing gets so much more like video games than sports does, so I think it deserves its own separate thing.
Yeah.
Then again, I play neither of these genres, so Hot Wheels because funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hot
Wheels.
Wheels. Because I'm nostalgic for Hot Wheels. I grew up with them. I still have a briefcase down in my family house full of fucking Hot Wheels. Like, I grew up with those, and I played the first one. It is genuinely fun, and it looks like for the second one, they didn't actually change too much. It's still the core, like, things that they made for the first game, but just, like, good improvements towards, like, the way things handle and how boosts are done. So, yeah, Hot Wheels.
On a side note, can we just talk about how easy I was to please as a kid having Hot Wheels? I just had like one track that had like a booster on it, and it went into a loop and then did like a jump, and then it was just and I would just stare at it for like 8 hours a day. My grandma had the easiest job of the world to watch over me, because I would just be right there just watching that, mesmerized.
See, when I was a kid, I loved Hot Wheels too, but my parents never bought me any tracks. So now that I have a son of my own, I bought him straight. First thing I was like, I'm buying him the Ultimate Garage, and sure as shit, I'm buying him the Ultimate Garage.
Best dad. I feel like I'm gonna do that for my kid if I ever do have a kid. I don't know if I will or
Dude,
won't.
it's literally getting your kids what you wish you had.
Exactly, because I didn't have the tracks as well. I always had the carts. And when you're a 3 to 7 year old kid, if you give them a Hot Wheels, they're gonna be happy. Like, if you give a 3 to 7 year old boy a Hot Wheel, they're gonna be fucking happy. They're Hot Wheels.
They are 100%.
But when you add the tracks into the mix, they're gonna be even happier. So again,
because
Hot Wheels
there's so much creativity that you can get from them. So much creativity.
They're basically like another version of Lego, but just focused more around vehicles, but still having that creative element of just like, oh, this is my little Camaro, and then this is my custom Hot Wheel car, and they're going to go racing on like a dinosaur park or something, and then they're going to go deep sea diving into the ocean, which is you just throwing your Hot Wheels into the pool.
That's so real, though.
Or if you were me, I was just pretending that one of my tracks was a roller coaster.
Oh, there you go. That's always a good one.
Hot Wheels was the reason that I now have my collection problem, because I start collecting things.
True.
And Hot Wheels.
So Hot Wheels is the blame.
Yeah. When you start collecting Hot Wheels, it's over. Like, collectibles are just going to be part of your life now.
Yeah, pretty much. If it didn't start with Lego, it started with Hot Wheels.
Best sim/strategy. I have not played any of these, except
I haven't played any of these.
I own Pikmin 4. I have yet to properly boot it up because I have had no time, even though I am a fucking
I don't
Pikmin
even think that
stan.
should be in here. I don't even think it should be in here.
Well, I would argue that like Pikmin does have like some forms of strategy to where, you know, you have to manage like a lot of things you typically would in a strategy sim, just in a different way. I think Pikmin being the outlier within strategy and sim does
Also,
make it interesting.
City Skylines, I heard was just an absolutely complete disaster and shouldn't be nominated as well.
Ugh. And I heard from like Fire Emblem fans that Engage was not the thing that everybody was kind of hoping for.
Engage is great. The gameplay, the actual strategy aspect, super fun. The battles, everything. The story is completely ass.
Oh,
it was such a throwaway, stupid story, but the actual battles and strategy was really, really, really fun, and that's what made me finish the game. Because the story was a 2 out of 10.
Okay, got
Completely
it.
real.
So it's one of those scenarios where they were like backpedaling with Fire Emblem. Like they had a great story for Three Houses and good strategy, but now this one has terrible story.
Yes,
but great
I'd say
combat.
I'd say the battles in this were shorter. There were more of them, and for the most part, were better than Three Houses. But Three Houses' story was just so incredible.
Okay,
so
Engage's story is ass.
With Engage, right? The thing that I always say about it is, have you ever seen a scale with gold only on one side? That is Engage.
What the fuck?
Because
Why?
they invest everything, and I mean everything, into that gameplay. That is probably some of the best tactics gameplay I have ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
that makes
story
sense.
made me want to throw up. Like,
Exactly.
It was
so bad.
So it's like Fire Emblem like Birthright. Like it's the completely ass story, but combat and strategy is marvelous.
Yeah, they nailed what they were supposed to nail. So if it wasn't for the good strategy,
there was maybe like 1 or 2 story segments that I liked, and like it kind of had this Persona Sim-esque area, right? I did not care about any of the characters, but the upgrades were kind of nice, right? So all of it went into this amazing craft of a perfect gameplay, but the story was so dumb.
that hub world was on the worst side.
That was rough, but
It was like the Three Houses hub world was amazing. I just wish it wasn't so freaking spread out.
Yeah, no.
I'll give it like a 7 out of 10 just because of how good the gameplay was. But like those 3 points, maybe even 4, were just kind of lost so quickly.
So if that's the case scenario, I'm gonna go Pikmin 4 because I am a Pikmin stan. I love the fact that Pikmin is here, and I'm gonna vote for it because again, Pikmin stan.
One of my buddies loves Pikmin, so I'm gonna go based off of respect.
I love me some Pikmin, and I'm pretty sure if my boy CJ was in here, he'd probably say the same thing, and he'd probably have a different rebuttal as to why this is probably in here. But yeah, Pikmin 4.
Okay,
100%.
Pikmin 4 was really good.
Right.
Also, I was really sad about Advance Wars because I was really looking forward to that, but it just kind of released at the wrong.
Yeah, it released at the wrong time. It was supposed to release at like the worst
before the whole Ukraine
possible.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was supposed to release before then, but it was just like, do we do it now? No, we shouldn't.
It was just kind of screwed with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm sad about, but like Pikmin 4, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so best family game.
Oh, gotta hit previous on that one. One of those.
Now this is an interesting one.
I'm watching through your stream, John. So okay, here we are.
Yeah, stream delay.
So,
that's why I kind of went a little bit ahead.
There's a 1 second delay that I put on stream, so that way like my
1
bitrate can stay
second.
consistent. Yeah, so that way my bitrate can stay consistent and I'm not like dropping frames.
Oh, I get you, but it sure as hell ain't 1 second.
It might be longer. I might have to double check that, but okay. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this one's kind of easy.
Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Mario Wonder. Yeah, the whole family can play this one. To be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not Pikmin.
The camera is like the only bad thing about it. I think everything else is just good about it.
Yeah. I don't understand why Party Animals is in here. If you brought this out for family events, you would be like stoned, like 100%. This is a game that'll
Like,
absolutely
there are a
destroy
lot, there are a
families.
lot more games that came out than I think it might have to do with the way that the polls went out to the people who were chosen. And say like out of say for example, out of the 100% of everyone that voted on the nominations, maybe 80 out of 100 voted for Super Mario's Wonder, and then those other 20 only voted for these other 4 games. So it's
Yeah.
like a lot of good games could have just been shirked of a nomination at all,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
because
That's typically
there
how it
were a
is.
lot more that came out than what the awards is making it seem. So that's why I'm excited to see how the DICE awards compare in a few months.
Oh, the DICE Awards?
Yeah, in February.
Oh, I have not heard of those.
Also,
Really?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
Disney Illusion
DICE
Island.
awards is
I've heard nothing about it, but I when it was initially releasing, I was kind of excited for it, but I've heard nothing about it, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that's kind of sad because it looks like a fun 4-player like co-op Sega Genesis Disney game.
Yeah, I feel like it could have taken the cake, but it just didn't pique anybody's interest. It didn't seem.
I think because it didn't have
I
any
feel like a
marketing.
lot of people don't do platformers anymore.
Yeah, that too. And again, marketing does help a game. Like marketing helps
Oh, yeah.
so much. And the fact that like nobody's heard of Illusion Island means that there was no marketing for it. Disney and all their infinite amount of money had no fucking marketing for their video game, which is sad.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh god, best fighting.
All right, I'm out of this
one's
one.
not
I
hard.
don't know what to tell you, bro.
Oh Christ.
Actually, no. This one's between two. There's
This one is between 2 of them, and it's really hard to pick either.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I know where my vote goes.
Incredible things about the new Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl compared to the first one.
Okay.
Correct. I've heard that too. I just think
Yes.
it released at a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 of the most defining titles I debate on each of these series.
Yes. 100%. Like these guys, Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6 came from like behind the black sheeps of the series. I would argue that Mortal Kombat 11 took serious steps back from MKX, which to me just didn't really hit right. Story-wise, MK11 was good, but mechanically it just didn't drive enough fun as MKX did. But now with Mortal Kombat 1, it's so fucking fun. It's so fun again.
So
And it's
I think
Fatalities are
Mortal
so
Kombat
cool.
is gonna take it.
You think Street Fighter
I
6
think
is going to take it?
I
No,
think
Mortal
Street Fighter
Kombat.
6 deserves it.
I think Street Fighter deserves it, but I think Mortal Kombat's gonna take it
I would argue against that because again,
strictly
like,
for popularity.
I would not even popularity. I would argue that everybody who has played Street Fighter 5 will tell you that Street Fighter 6 was absolutely the game that everybody was asking for the longest time when it comes to Street Fighter, because from Third Strike to 4, things had been like dormant, and when Street Fighter 5 came out, it came to a fanfare of farts. If Street Fighter 5 did not hit on the levels that everybody wanted to, but Street Fighter 6 did so much for the series again. It like breathed new fresh air into Street Fighter again. Mechanically, my god, it's so fun. Drive systems, be damned, bro. Street Fighter 6 is amazing. Like it's so fun. I kept telling people that I will always find excuses to play Street Fighter 6 with people. And same could be said for Mortal Kombat 1. Mechanically, both of these games are fantastic. It's just really hard to put a nail into which one. But
The thing that really comes down to me is for like their kind of weak points that I can think of. Like Mortal Kombat 1, their DLC right now, especially with Omni-Man, was kind of like taken aback. He wasn't given as much as people think he should have, which I kind of agree with, but also it's dope. And then Street Fighter 6, I feel like World Tour is the like weakest point, but again, that's just kind of like a story mode. Mortal Kombat 1's story was pretty good from what I've heard.
yeah, no, Mortal Kombat 1's story was fantastic. I blitzed through the story, so I made sure to like, okay, I want to get the story done so that way I can experience it, talk about it later with people who have finished the story, and just gush about it because it was actually really good. It was executed so fucking well. I love the changes that they did for like this new universe thing that they're doing, but it's not like the game feels minimalistic, if that makes sense. There's a lot of like focus towards like just story mode and online fights, and that's it. There's not really a whole lot of focus towards like other things like the invasions mode, which is basically a like a tower, like the things that they did back in MK11 with like the towers with seasons and everything, but also a mixture of the crypt. Like there wasn't a whole lot of attention garnered to that, which I guess was like a thing that NetherRealm wanted to make sure that like, okay, we got to nail the story and we got to nail the fighting, which they do. But I think for Street Fighter 6, I think it nails like fighting first, which is a good thing because you need to have a good fighter before you put in all the effort for a story mode, which is kind of the problem that they did with Street Fighter 5. They focus way too much on story and not enough on the mechanics. So I think I just kind of talked myself into giving the vote for Street Fighter 6. Don't get me wrong. I love MK1. It is fan-fucking-tastic, but I have never been more hyped for a goddamn Capcom fighter than Street Fighter 6. I remember talking to so many people when this game was coming out, and we were all just so fucking jazzed to see more.
I made a video on it, and I hadn't played Street Fighter in God knows how long.
You did.
Yeah. I'm like, it's been years since I talked about Street Fighter, and then when 6 got announced, I was like, oh, this looks gas.
Oh, yeah.
Because your time is come.
Because everybody was just like, dude, it's Third Strike
Pretty
again.
much.
Which it is. It's Third Strike again. It's like that Third Strike style again, which is good. Because again, that's what Street Fighter needs. It needs like a retelling or like a breath of fresh air, but yet also something that feels familiar.
And it also had, I'd say, some of my favorite style choices from Street Fighter. Maybe a hot take here, but was kind of from 4, and it kind of had a little bit of that inspiration.
Yeah, true.
But like not too much of it, and it was like just enough.
Yeah. All right, we're done talking about best fighting because I could go on forever. Okay, best RPG.
Oh, I'm gonna go with 16. I'm gonna go with 16.
I already knew you were gonna pick that one, but my god.
Like it's not even Final Fantasy bias or anything like that. I'm just taking into account everything else that I'm seeing, and I'm like, yeah, 16 still takes the cake.
See, I'm waiting for a certain somebody
AC?
here to be like.
Nope. Cameron, do you have anything to say?
I have a lot to say.
I'll let you go first.
Baldur's Gate is just the RPG of all RPGs. You cannot role play as much as you could in an RPG as you can in Baldur's Gate. I haven't played Final Fantasy 16, so I can't really speak out on that. But Final Fantasy, at least from what I believe, is completely linear, right?
For the most part, it does follow like a linear type.
It's a linear story. You're guided through it.
Yeah.
In Baldur's Gate, you literally actually role play, kind of like Starfield. Not saying Starfield even needs to be up there, but Starfield 100%. You are role playing. You have different storylines, quests, decisions, stuff you can do. Baldur's Gate, you actually have choices that impact everything you do. When you encounter other characters, when you use certain items, everything you do actually impacts stuff, and they have responses for those decisions you make. I'm not sure if anyone saw like the video of Asterion getting crushed by a castle. And then
I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
What?
I'm not going to explain any further because I wish I felt that one naturally when I played through it. But the fact that there is dialogue for after that, depending on what you do, is fucking hilarious. Because you can just completely not decide to make so many, like the hundreds of hours of dialogue in the game versus the maybe 100 hours that you will actually see is mind-boggling. Just because there's so much actual role playing to be done in the game. Final Fantasy 16, you might be in a role playing game, but you are role playing as the main protagonist, kind of like Persona 5. You know, it's protagonist, but you're not putting yourself in the protagonist's shoes necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Fair points. I like it.
You've said
This is your vote, Daddy. I already
said
voted for Baldur's
basically
Gate
everything
3,
I
so
would
this
have
is
said
up on
right there.
you.
Okay, so see, I was kind of waiting for Casey to put into perspective or just like other thoughts, but the fact that Cameron is just like, oh, he nailed it.
There's a few things I could add if you want me to.
If you want to kick a squirrel, you can kick a fucking squirrel. Okay,
You can. You seriously can.
dude.
So-
I have laughed so hard I cried.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
so
that's
I've
really
played-
funny.
I haven't completed Final Fantasy, but I've played Baldur's Gate 3 all the way
Honestly,
through.
I haven't completed Final Fantasy either. Animation homework sucks.
Fair. I haven't
Real.
even
Like I said, I casted my vote on Baldur's Gate. You know, if he hasn't played Baldur's Gate, he's played Final Fantasy, then maybe that is his
Well, that's
So
best
here's-
RPG.
that's the thing. I have not touched Final Fantasy 16. I wanted to get the stream
What?
started. Yeah, I wanted to get the stream started, but it was during the time when I was getting ready to move. I was still looking for a new place to live, so I have not touched Final Fantasy 16 at all. Granted, I will, and I am going to
No.
fucking love it. But so here's the thing. If Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't here, I'd give it to Final Fantasy 16. But the fact that Baldur's Gate is here and what
I
the
get-
boys had like just elaborated on, like it's an actual true to life role playing game.
That's what I'm thinking.
You literally
is
played it for like an hour and a
here's my-
half straight from
like,
when
here's
you
my
booted up
thing.
on my PC.
Yeah.
Like,
If you
here's
guys
my
are thinking
perspective.
about it, Anthony, can I add more hype to Baldur's Gate real quick?
Go for it,
Now,
because I might actually buy it after this stream.
you should, and we should do a chaos playthrough. That sounds so funny.
Dude, chaos
the fuck,
chaos playthrough on stream.
That would be so good. But if you want to play a role in Baldur's Gate 3, you can. If you want to kill everything, you can. If you want to bang all of your partners in your companions, yes, you can. If you want
Want
to,
to fuck a bear?
yeah, if you want to bang a mind flayer, you can.
Sorry,
I could s-
what?
Dude, I could stick my dick in a mind flare and a bear at the same time. Let's fucking go.
My mind's not the only thing getting played.
That's
But-
Settle and go
wild,
home.
bro.
There is a failsafe and a line, a voice line for everything. Say you don't like one character, but he's like crucial to the story. You can still kill him, and then somebody else comes in. Say you still don't like that guy. You can kill him, and then something else happens in the story that will affect you all the way down the line. However you decide to play the game, your effects affect everything. For example, I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler for a side quest, but I picked up this magic amulet at the beginning of my playthrough. And it was completely gone for the majority, completely irrelevant, but I used it. And because I used it for most of my playthrough, its story pathway reappeared in Act 3, right near the end. And I picked it up at the very beginning of my playthrough. So anything you do, you can play your role however you want to. And it all affects the story. It is, as I think I said in my video, one of the most fluid and immersive games I've ever played. You can play whatever role you want to. And something even cool as well is if you don't want to play as your own character, you can put yourself in the role of one of the companions and play through their eyes as well, which is pretty cool. You can play as anybody.
See, okay, now here's what I was going to say about Final Fantasy 16. Yes, I will be the first to say it is a pretty linear game. If you're... Because here's the reason why. As opposed to being an RPG experience, like Casey was saying about Baldur's Gate 3, this is a cinematic experience. As if you're going through, an episode of Game of Thrones or watching, a medieval... movie. That's the vibe I get from Final Fantasy 16, but I can get through linearity if the game fucking rocks, and this game fucks.
Yeah.
I mean, this game...
I will admit,
No.
it is gas.
No, this game goes straight in raw, okay? No lubrication, just goes in on it. This shit,
I don't
From
think
the
Jonathan
very-
can get any more excited for Final Fantasy.
from the
Dude,
from
I
the
know.
very no hold up. Let me bring hype to this one because everybody got to bring hype to Baldur's Gate 3. This game in the first freaking cutscene lets you know this game is real. This game is not Final Fantasy 15, and it lets you know that very, very quickly. This is a Final Fantasy that goes back to its roots. This is a Final Fantasy that has one of the best soundtracks I've ever even heard in a freaking video game ever. All I'm saying, the Ifrit boss fight, Casey, if you know the soundtrack, you know what I'm talking about. And that scene alone makes me just... I have a nerdgasm every single time I think about it. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Again, it's a linear game, but what you can do with the time that you have in it, whether it be side quests, whether it be monster hunting or anything like that, or just interacting with the townspeople, there's little things that still make the world come to life, even though you are still just only able to interact with what the game allows you to. So, for this one, I completely agree with you guys saying Baldur's Gate 3 would take the cake on this one. I don't doubt that.
If there was a difference between best RPG and best JRPG, I think that would... Yeah, that really...
100%. Because we need to look at the tag as well. It says, for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Final Fantasy 16 unfortunately doesn't cut...
Yeah, it doesn't.
Two of those.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't cut even two of those.
None of these have an MMO experience.
Anyway, this is really cool, and I think we all know who we're going to vote here. It's Lies of P, 100%.
Yeah. Lies of P gets the vote.
Yes, 100%.
Chat, you thought it was going to be Baldur's Gate 3 or Final Fantasy 16. No, you're wrong. It's Sea of Stars, so congratulations, you are the best RPG.
Yeah,
but in a landslide change, it's fucking Starfield. Who knew that Tom Howard and Bethesda Projects could make a best...
And with that...
You can joke about the other two, but we leave Starfield in the dust.
But anyway, though, the next one. Now, this is going to be an interesting discussion, so if you want to go over to the next one...
Well, okay, I'm putting
he's got a vote.
Yeah, I was just
gonna say, shoot, you haven't even done your votes?
No, you just assumed that I throw something out there. You three have not shut the hell up. I have not said anything about these, but again.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, you good. But I was just gonna say, for the reasons that Cameron and Casey have brought up, Baldur's Gate takes it. It's that whole thing of like role playing game. You are taking
That's what
role.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It nails the RPG elements to a fucking T. If it wasn't here, Final Fantasy 16 would take it. But again, the fact that there's so much like things that are built around player customization, the things that you do, and the effect that it has on the world, that is a real life RPG. So again, Baldur's Gate absolutely nails the genre that it sets out to be. As much as I want to get into Final Fantasy 16, which believe me, chat, streams are coming. They are. Again, Baldur's Gate just does so much more. Like, there's so much more meat on Baldur's Gate's plate than there is in Final Fantasy 16's, I believe. Combat-wise, like, my god, Final Fantasy 16's combat, I could gush about that even though I have not played it. I have seen several amounts of combat, and my god, I cannot wait to touch it. And
can I say one thing?
You may.
After you're done. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say... Can I follow that up after as well? After Anthony, don't worry. Because mine's completely separate.
I was just going to say, if there is one Final Fantasy, though, if it was on here, it would just take the cake no matter which way you look at it. That would be Final Fantasy 14, which is an MMO.
Yeah.
If that game was on here, dude, that would get my vote instantly.
I don't think it was even nominated for ongoing game.
No, it wasn't.
Not even.
No, it is.
Not even.
Is it?
Well, no, it is. There's still DLC for it. There's still expansion packs for it. And they're just as popular as ever. Dude, people say every day that if Final Fantasy 6 isn't the best Final Fantasy, it's 14. Not even 7. It's 14. It has probably the biggest fan base in all of Final Fantasy besides 7. And that is saying a lot because this game just gives you countless customization. It gives you countless storylines to do. Just like with Baldur's Gate 3, every action you do has a consequence to it or something relating to it. It's amazing. I haven't gotten to play much of it, but I played like a good 10 hours of it, which yes is nothing, but it's something to me at least. It was one of the most fun Final Fantasy experiences I ever got to have, but what makes it so great is that it is an MMO. So you have that freedom at all times. It's an actual role-playing game. So if it was in this category instead of Final Fantasy 16, it would take the cake, hands down.
Okay.
I really quickly want to add on. I joked about Lies of P because I played a little bit of it. I'm happy it's nominated. It was a fun little Soulsborne game. And I'm like, it's not gonna win, but that's cool. It's up there.
Nice to have it.
The fact that basically Bloodborne 2 is up here is very nice. Bloodborne fans are very happy. But yeah,
I'm cool, it's there. It's not gonna win, but it's cool that it's there.
Again, if it wasn't obvious enough, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take the cake for this goddamn award. 100%.
If Baldur's Gate 3 didn't, it was Final Fantasy.
Exactly. If Baldur's Gate was not here, it'd be Final Fantasy 16. But again, since Baldur's Gate is here and it nails the elements of RPG, those three letters, it takes it.
If Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win Game of the Year, it's gonna win this, and I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh crap!
There was a lot of innuendo.
Yeah, you know what I was telling you about now, John. You know what now you know exactly what I was thinking.
Wait. Hey, hang on. Wait a minute. Why is Final Fantasy 16 not here? Why is it not considered best action or adventure either? Why did it not get nominated for this?
It's Square Enix. They just kind of classify it as an RPG.
Ah, balls. Because I would have put it as best action adventure because my god, the game's combat. I will gush about it. But oh god, okay.
I don't think this one. Honestly, I don't think this one's too hard though.
You think so?
I think Final Fantasy still would have been a second in this one as well.
Yeah.
There's really only two here that I feel like really take the cake. Because one of them's very niche, that's not going to win. And then one of them got flamed a lot. One of them's kind of recent, but has a chance, and one of them's a remake. And then one of them's a sequel. So, I mean, but there's more than one sequel. But,
yeah, I was going to say, there's two of them.
They're all sequels.
They're all sequels, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all sequels.
You know something now, and this is something that I'm thinking of from a me standpoint. My heart goes for Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. My gut goes for Tears of the Kingdom.
Real.
See,
all of me goes for Tears of the Kingdom. Also, I'm totally not biased by my 35K views on that video.
Shut the fuck up.
Bias,
that real
non-existent.
Anyway,
so here's my thing. It's between Tears of the Kingdom and RE4. And RE4, my god, the game is so damn.
Oh, Resident Evil 4.
fun.
Okay.
Yes, RE4. So, looking at how they describe it, it is action adventure combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Resident Evil has always been about puzzle solving, but then again, the puzzles in Resident Evil are pretty simple. Can you divide 2 by 2? And that's it. You've solved all the. If you can do basic math, you have solved all the puzzles in Resident Evil 1. But there's still that element.
The amount of people that can't.
Yeah, I know.
I probably couldn't. I'm being honest.
Spider-Man's puzzles are way too easy.
Don't worry about it, Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm even being a little bit honest here, because if I am taking the title into account as well as the description, honestly, I think it probably would be Spider-Man 2. I wouldn't possibly. I'm not getting to Game of the Year yet, but for action, because you got to think of combat and traversal at least.
For an action game, yes. It's like if you split these two apart, action game would go to Spider-Man. I think adventure game would go to Zelda.
Yeah, absolutely, because Zelda is.
That's why I'm so stuck between the two, because it could be either or. I'm fine.
Alan Wake, I think's niche and recency bias. RE4, I wouldn't just for the sake of a remaster. Star Wars was a disaster when it first launched, but I haven't played it yet just because so many
It
games.
was just kind
But
of a disaster
wanna
getting
put-
off the ground. So
I want to also just like take note of what you said as well for Spider-Man 2, recency bias. This game came out way too recently.
Yeah, and like
in
I
order
said,
to,
the
like,
puzzle
fully-
solving. Lots of times in Zelda, I got stumped with puzzles,
Yeah, true.
or like you don't even know that a puzzle exists. You know,
what?
unless you notice something. But Spider-Man's was just, they were too easy.
Yeah.
My final answer is going to be Legend of Zelda. My final
Okay.
answer is going to be Legend of Zelda.
I'm
can
gonna.
I plead my
Yeah.
case for Zelda?
You may.
Yeah,
you may
plead your
plead your
case.
case. You may.
I think it's wholeheartedly just taken the action and the adventure into its case, because the two things that I'm going to talk about for each, right? The adventure is kind of like the world, and the action's like the combat. So as you go through the world, the adventure part of it, it is everything that Breath of the Wild was, but so much more dense. There's always something to do. And one thing that a lot of people complain about is the fact that there's not enough shrines that aren't like, oh, go in, pick up your reward because you did something outside. But I think that's a good thing because it makes the world into a puzzle instead of just something. And there's so damn much to find. Even if it's like super small or something, you're never bored. You're always doing something.
There were some of those sky puzzles where if I went into a shrine after doing a sky puzzle and there was another puzzle, I'd have been fucking pissed.
Real. In terms of the action part, I'd debate to say this is probably one of my just favorite like combats ever. Because the fuse mechanic opens so many new doors, and I'd debate even like Ultra Hand and the way you use like Zonai technology and everything. You have so many ways to do the same thing.
Nobody complained about weapon integrity this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody.
Yeah, no, because I'd debate to say they even kind of fixed it. Not they didn't really, but like they kind of did with the amount of stuff that you're given.
Yeah.
And overall, it's just got such a good combat system that from Breath of the Wild they dramatically increased and made so much better that I'm like, it's just kind of
it made
defining
weapon
Zelda
breaking
game for me
fun
now.
Yeah.
too.
So,
But Spider-Man 2 is probably my next up.
see, for me, it's between Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Tears of the Kingdom. Spider-Man 2 is like third on the list. I haven't finished it. And in terms of combat, it's the first game, just refined, and it's fun. Tears of the Kingdom, everybody's points, I will agree with. Resident Evil 4, they changed so much to like make it feel as if Leon is like much more powerful. Like Leon is able to do like a lot more things. They learned from like a lot of the other remakes because they knew they had to get this one right because everybody remembers RE4. And I think what they did does help it a lot, but it's still a majority of like the same adventure with different things from what I heard from people that have already played it. It plays out relatively the same, but in terms of like combat, how things are executed, it is still incredibly fun. However, the amount of stuff that is within Tears of the Kingdom completely overshadows a lot of what RE4 has. So I think I gotta go with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, as much as like Resident Evil 4 does a lot of good things to where action does feel like impactful and you are feeling very, very fucking tense when action is happening. Like that game is like clench your butthole, make sure you are on your toes, running from enemies and having bullets on standby. Tears of the Kingdom, with what it does for combat, is still a bit more fun. I would argue a little bit, because it may be different styles of combat, but still there's a lot more tools at your disposal within this game than there is with RE4.
I feel like RE4 masters the action, but Tears of the Kingdom masters the action adventure.
Yeah, it does. It masters action to a fucking T. Speaking of action...
Now, what the hell? Why wasn't Spider-Man 2 on this one?
Well, because action
Yeah.
is
Best action, just best action game? Are you kidding me?
well. Let's be real for a second. Games like goddamn Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, fucking all this other like high octane action games. They just had to dedicate something towards like beating people up, and you got Armored Core, which is fun. I did a couple of missions at my best friend's house before I left for Idaho, and goddamn, I want to play Armored Core. But it's instant vote. I have to give it to Hi-Fi Rush.
Thank you. That's all I was gonna say.
So cool.
I
So
have to give it to
Hi-Fi Rush
fucking
and Ghost
Hi-Fi
Runner,
Rush.
and out of those two, Hi-Fi is so good.
Absolutely 100%, because it looks at the action genre, like it looks at like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, it looks at all those other action titles previously and be like, what if we made a rhythm game around this too? And it fucking nails it. And the best part is just like, if you're like not good at rhythm games, it's still a really fun fucking action game to do combos with. But if you can like get good with your timing and timing your attacks, you're going to have way more fun with this. And also just like the style. My God, this game is so colorful and it like has so much style. I want to drink the colors from this game. Hi-Fi
Real.
Rush
I'm
came
not
out of
going to comment on that yet, but real.
it came out of fucking left field. Xbox just fucking shadow dropped it, and it became one of the best, like, not Devil May Cry games ever for a really, really long time. So Hi-Fi Rush gets it 100%.
Yeah, I don't think I can say anything else. It reminded me a lot of Cadence of Hyrule in that terms of like kind of combat based rhythm, and I'm like, it was just, it worked so well. It's one of those underrated gems, I think.
It is.
Which was kind of not underrated for a while.
Yeah, no, it wasn't underrated. When it released, everybody was talking about it. And that was the best part. It was just like, hey, it's on Game Pass today. It's like, oh, and if you don't have Game Pass, you can buy it today. Okay.
Hey.
Sick. Thanks for the shadow drop. All right, best VR/AR.
All right.
Okay.
I can plead
Now,
this case. I
don't
want to
wanna
plead
hear
this
shit
case
about
real
what I
quick.
know what people are going to talk about. I don't want to hear shit.
All right, guys. I have my case here. You want to know what my case is?
If you fucking say it, I swear to God, I
So
swear.
if I just quickly back for best action game, Hogwarts Legacy definitely snubbed.
Correct.
Yeah.
My
I missed that.
best
Sorry.
VR game of this year.
I swear to God.
You want to know what it is?
I swear to fucking God, Casey, if you say it.
Resident Evil Village VR mode.
I'm going
Because
to.
that's not even a VR game. It's just Resident Evil in VR.
Dude,
And you want to know something funny? I haven't played anything on this list, so I can't say anything about it.
See,
So
Casey, are you just looking at Resident Evil and realizing what's her name and thinking, yeah?
oh yeah, Lady Dimitrescu.
that is not what I was thinking, but that's what I'm thinking now. I was
There are only
Fuck you.
two
My
that are
vote-
dedicated VR games on this
My
list.
vote went to Horizon because I like how the Horizon game looks, and I thought that would be cool in VR, even though I have not played any of these.
That's what I did because it was I don't have a VR headset, but I did Horizon because it's a dedicated VR
I'm
game.
going with Horizon just based off of how the game actually looks on the cover, so.
Real. And also, Horizon is something I'd want to see in VR. Like Resident Evil, I think I've already seen enough. Right?
I can't even play it not in VR because too scary.
See, but
That's real, though.
okay. But that's the thing. I'm gonna plead a case. Village on its own was kind of all right. I played it on stream. I beat the game, and afterwards I was just like, okay, that was fun. But here's the thing. Village came after 7. Like, I forget what the subtitle was for 7, but
Biohazard?
yeah, Biohazard. Thank you. So coming off of that and it already having dedicated VR on drop, I swear there was no other way to play Biohazard. You actually felt real fucking terror when you were playing Biohazard in VR. And from what I heard from a lot of people,
that was good.
from what I heard from a lot of people, the same is said for Village. And I think that's kind of the big problem that Village had at the start, is that it didn't have like the dedicated VR mode. Because it was the sequel, but it didn't hit as well as the first one did because it didn't nail that type of horror. But now having dedicated VR and that real sense of terror, Village actually hits a little bit different now. Like it does. So
Yeah, immersion.
For like the absolute immersion factor, I have to give it to fucking Village. Because again, the game was already like an all right time, but adding that element of VR would have made it so much better on drop. But now that we have it, it's making it so much better. Like I told myself once I get a VR2, I want to do another run of Village because I want to actually like feel those raw type of fearful emotions again.
No, you'll feel something raw.
Feel something raw, bro. I want to feel something raw with Dimitrescu.
Fair enough. Also, you brought up Biohazard, and I did play that in VR. Capcom did pee my pants. That was nice.
Oh my god, Casey.
Yeah. No, dude, for real.
I'm joking, by the way, but it was pretty good. It was really good.
Dude.
Especially the demo they released for it. I think it was Kitchen.
Yes,
that was
the
actually
Kitchen
I was
demo.
surprisingly
Yes.
impressed by that.
Yeah. It was
So I'm like,
it was impressive.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So again, like Village finally having that VR mode that it desperately needed, and now adding that actual fear factor that the previous one had, it'll hit on such a different level. So again, I told myself, first game I'm playing is this one when I get a PlayStation VR 2.
That's fair.
Best mobile game. Let's see. Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and
Let me just say the best part about this is the #1 episode of South Park.
I was just about to bring that up.
I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
I'm not gonna lie.
15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Oh my god, I have not thought about that episode in a fucking hot minute. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie, it got my vote because of that, but it should go to Honkai Star Rail because that was really impressive. For just mobile game, really, really good.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, but I have a bias, and I'm throwing my bias in there. Hunters must hunt, okay? Monster Hunter Now. It's Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom, but with fucking monsters. And it actually promotes like being outside, walking around, and now when you walk around, you can find fucking Diablo or Rathalos and just fucking fight them. And one thing that I was kind of worried about, but it was addressed when I went to go see a couple of family members, they did have it on their phones, and the way that you actually like interact with combat is so fucking simple. It's just tapping your phone every so now and again, and then you swipe to dodge, but it's so easy. Everybody can pick this up. Like, literally anybody can pick this up and be like, oh, okay, this is fun. But for fucking Monster Hunter fans, the fact that we actually have like an AR game around Monster Hunter that's on the same levels of fucking Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom, my buy. I rest my case. It's fucking Monster Hunter AR. I love it.
Fair enough. Can't disagree there.
It would have gone to Ever Crisis, but I just don't feel any like more attachment to Ever Crisis. I feel like once we get more updates for it, then I'll start playing it a bit more. But it's just like right now, I just don't have like any engagement to go towards Ever Crisis right now.
Here's the thing.
I just don't want to vote for Hoyo and encourage them to do more of the same shit.
Ever Crisis.
I was just gonna give it to him because Honkai Star Rail was actually pretty good. But then again, it's kind of like how Genshin Impact was at first.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing with Ever Crisis for me. The thing that I do like about it is that it's a nice, fun distraction game, but all it is it's really just a recap of everything in the Final Fantasy VII lore. There's nothing really much to it besides that, and there's the few little updates that it has here and there. There was the Sephiroth challenge that happened, but you know, it's like at the end of the day, you're just playing through like not even the full thing of Final Fantasy VII or Crisis Core. Even it's just little snippets of it. Which, if you play the other games, it's pretty much that with microtransactions and little short clips. So honestly, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna vote for it because of Final Fantasy VII bias. But
We all have our biases, but yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
I can understand where you're coming from, and it's that reason alone. It's just like there's not enough right now. It's just the snippets of pieces of the story. If it was the entire story and it was available to play, I would absolutely be playing Ever Crisis way more. But it's just the fact that it's snippets right now, and there's not really too many changes that are going on within the Final Fantasy VII lore that's being either established as we're going through with Rebirth or other changes to previous lores.
There's nothing new, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
nothing new.
Exactly. There's nothing
It's
new.
a
There's
story
nothing really
recap.
impactful.
That's it.
Yeah, there's nothing really impactful going on here. But yeah, chat, Monster Hunter. Hunters must hunt. Okay.
Oh, they just broke off the F1. Just started their formation lap in Vegas.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Cars go vroom. Best debut indie horror game in chat.
Wait,
I
horror
heard-
game or just
No,
indie game?
No, indie game. Like debut indie game. Like this
Right.
game came out and
Yeah.
it was just like the craze. Like for best
I don't
debut
know
indie game
any of
created by a
these.
new independent studio,
Pizza Tower, yes, not my jam, but Cocoon is my pick out of all these.
There's two different games. There's the game I want to win because I've played it, and there's the game that definitely had the best debut. Right? Pizza Tower's gonna win. There's not even a competition here, but I
Yeah,
liked Viewfinder. Viewfinder was a lot of fun. Those
I am
puzzles
a-
were actually really, really fun.
I
I am a
heard
simple man that Casey will definitely laugh at. I'm voting for Dredge because 48 Dredge in Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Actually, so real though.
pleb. But yeah, Casey is right.
I
Like,
have Zombies bias.
Pizza Tower is absolutely gonna take it. There was everybody on the internet would not shut the fuck up and make stupid
Yeah,
memes of
straight
Pizza
up.
Tower. But
This is how you know I haven't been on the internet. I haven't heard shit about Pizza Tower.
here's the thing.
Also,
I-
technically, Baldur's Gate is an indie game, but
Oh.
That's very technically though, because they had it teams like over like 400.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I'm like, yeah.
yeah, but also no. But yeah, Pizza Tower is absolutely taking it. The memes, the amount of mods that already exist for the game, the fact that nobody would shut the hell up about Pizza Tower, the amount of speed runs that exist for this game is fucking insane.
Oh, the speedrunning community went ham with this game, dude.
So fucking ham. Like, everybody and their grandmother was going for new different types of speedruns within Pizza Tower. And that was the best part. Like, there were different types of speedruns for Pizza Tower. I have yet to properly boot this up because I want to do like a playthrough on YouTube because I feel like that would be a fun video series to do. But
dude, I'd watch that.
I remember when Pizza Tower came out, I'm just like, what the hell is this? And people were just like, dude, it's fucking Wario Land, but funner. And I'm like, okay, I see you. And it's just the fact that it got everybody's attention and it garnered so many memes and so much attention to, I would argue, a type of platform genre that is kind of like not looked at, like that exploration type of platformer. But then once you reach like a goal or something like that, then you have to get the fuck out, like within that level. So yeah, Pizza Tower absolutely fucking takes it, and for funny memes.
Funny meme.
It had like fucking amazing memes. And then best independent game. So outstanding creative and technical achievements in a game made outside of the traditional
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't do it.
system.
What was the last category?
And technical achievements?
Yeah, technical achievements.
What
So
What was the last category?
debut indie game.
Oh,
Like,
debut indie game. Okay.
Yeah,
The
like, the
debut
game-
is definitely Pizza Tower.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no problem about that.
Your little camera blocks some of it, so or your
Oh, my bad. My big
screen.
dumb,
You're
big
good.
dumb face. Big dumb
Right.
face. What do you
I-
think? Should I go big mode? Should I go bigger?
no,
Should we go-
no, you're
should we go
good.
Bigger,
No, you're fine.
smaller. Should we go? God damn it! Now I gotta readjust. Okay, there we go.
I have something to say about this one, but I'll let you guys go first.
Honestly, I can't speak for much of these because I have not played any of them. I have only seen
I'd say-
snippets and trailers for a lot of these. Cameron has showed me Cocoon, and it looks fucking trippy. I do want to play it, but I can't speak for some of these.
Sea of Stars, everybody was super hyped about, but I feel like not very many people actually made it through the game.
Mhm.
and that's when I only made it through like a few hours of it before I kind of got tired of it. I still want to finish Sea of Stars, but Cocoon's more of a puzzle game that took my attention. But I can't speak for Dave or Dredge or Viewfinder. Viewfinder was not my jam, but
isn't Viewfinder like a type of puzzle game to where things get like bigger as you pull them forward, or am I thinking of something else?
Yes, I want to say.
It's a perspective game.
Oh, okay.
That's how I describe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm getting my games right, my vote was to Viewfinder. Just because when you said like creative and technical achievement, I've never seen something try to do what Viewfinder's done, and also technically actually pulled it out.
Yeah,
Like,
you got a point. Just based off of description alone, I wouldn't give it to Sea of Stars because it doesn't do anything. Everything that Sea of Stars is, it pulls from stuff before it. So it's not necessarily being creative because all of its combat systems, its storyline, everything is pulled from other JRPGs that exist.
And I think
it's not a
especially
bad thing. But
that makes Sea of Stars. If we're sticking to
but
the
it doesn't make it
definition,
really
give it to
creative
Viewfinder.
or technically achieved.
Yeah, if we're sticking to the definition, I'd give it to Viewfinder. But also outside of Viewfinder, or outside of the definition, I had just a lot of fun with it. It was just one of those games. I never completed it, so I can't really say anything. But like
Very peaceful, it seems.
yeah, for the time that I played it, it was very zen, very nice, and also like really interesting because I like. Obviously, as a film major dude, I'm like I like playing with perspective and all that. So it was,
true.
it was like a kind of nice, calm game. Also, kind of like the only real independent game I could even give a chance this year.
That's fair.
It reminds me of what is it, The Witness? Kind of like the same vibe.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so then if that's the case, I'll throw the vote to Viewfinder.
Going with Viewfinder because I have no freaking clue what,
So also being a film buff and also being into film stuff, I too like to mess with perspective. So
This is actually a lot more contentious than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, real.
Who knew? All right.
Okay.
Best community support. Oh my lord.
See, now this is where I get conflicted.
So
Okay. Yeah. I have my case, but there's two that could win it. There's two that could totally take it.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Baldur's Gate 3 based off of Casey.
That's my boy.
Because here's the thing. This is something that you need to take into account. Yes, I see Final Fantasy 14 on there, and my gut wants to say that so fucking badly. But the thing we gotta realize is that it says community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Final Fantasy 14 only has game updates and patches.
I would
see.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'd debate on that part, but
I would debate on that too because I think 14's social media presence is pretty significant. Like they engage with a lot of other creators on like Twitter or X, fucking Muskrat. Like community support for 16 has always been super consistent. Like they're always listening to their player bases. A lot of their stuff, like their big things that they are always talking about is like game updates and patches, but their social media presence is pretty fucking big. Like they are always interacting with people. I can't say I've seen anything for Baldur's Gate 3, but then again, I don't really follow Baldur's Gate 3's social media as frequently as other people do.
I can tell you Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the best for this category, but I'll argue
it's
that.
a lot of communication. Cyberpunk, I just say completely no, especially based off the social media transparency and responsiveness. No. Destiny 2's been on a downward trend. I can't speak for Final Fantasy. No Man's Sky, I had like 500 hours in. And as far as yes, for like their social media activity with game updates and patches and stuff like that, but there wasn't a lot of involvement with Hello Games. I mean, there's obviously not as many of them as there are in a lot of these other development studios, but Hello Games wasn't necessarily super involved with the community, but they were great about social media and updates and patches and stuff like that. So I'd still say no to them, but Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasy is where I'd cast it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just talk about how good Baldur's Gate 3's community support is real fast.
Okay, go for it.
Everybody reaches out to them, right? Saying, oh, like this part of the game is broken. But considering of how expansive it is, right? In one of their interviews, they said, oh, we want to appeal to all of the scenes that 0.001% of people are going to see. We want to make sure even those are perfect, right? So people will reach out with this random series of events, right? And send out their username to them as well. And then they'll release a patch in the upcoming week that patches that specific scene or patches that specific thing, right? And their community support is amazing. Like, I don't think I've seen IGN upload so many videos with the Baldur's Gate 3 cast. They're literally playing a campaign right now on live streams, which is sick. I think...
Yeah, one of my favorite part is seeing the voice cast playing D&D together.
Yeah, for real.
Nice.
And like, also the one thing that I've got to say is I get a patch update on my PS5 like weekly or bi-weekly for that game. And every now and then, whenever I pop on, there's always something different to realize. Like, players said, oh, I ended up wanting to change how my character looks in the middle, and I can't. Can we do that now? And they're like, sure. So they updated the game and added a completely new product called the Magic Mirror, where you can just now go change that.
Wow.
Right? Or you can now go do that in just a patch. Just because they were like, screw it. People wanted this, let's do it.
Damn.
And that's kind of how I feel.
That's within a week of people just like tweeting at them or just saying things on social media?
I'm not sure if that was in a week, but it was because of social media.
That's, you know what? Baldur's Gate. Because
there's just this oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, as much time as it takes for patches for Final Fantasy XIV to get done, as big of a game as it is, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is still a big-ass game, but the fact that they're appealing to that 0.01% of people that are looking to just, like, go in and break games just for the fun of it and see if those things can be fixed, the fact that they are, like, always on top of shit like that within a fucking instant is fucking marvelous. Like,
Oh,
Did you see the rec
100%.
bomb?
amazing community support
Yep.
when you're doing that. Like, you already set yourself up for, like, great standards and appealing
Oh, I
to,
was just
like, your
passively
audiences.
watching
Like,
it.
Oh, also, I forgot what statistic it was, but there was like this statistic everybody that wanted to know, and it was somewhere in like the trillions. And they're like, this was a bitch to find or something. And it was like, they did it anyway, because they were like, this sounds funny, let's do it.
Oh,
But-
that's so funny. But it's that fact of just like, okay, we're going to listen to everybody and see about patching some things that people are talking about. That's amazing community support.
Passionate group of people.
Yeah,
It
super
is.
passionate people actively listening to your audiences every single day and finding things to put inside the
And
game.
it just reminds me of when all the other developers, when everybody was clamoring about Baldur's Gate 3, and they're like, oh, it's not like this. People shouldn't compare all other games to this now. And it's like, why not? Just because they're able to actually, go in and show you that it's not that hard to make certain updates.
Yeah.
Compared to how other developers make it seem like this huge deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I like this should be a standard, but at the same time, most developers don't have the time that Larian does.
Don't
Yeah.
give us a standard. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I was going to say.
please at least try and be that a bit more.
Yeah, please. Let that be somewhat of a standard if there is one.
I don't like. I will admit, I will give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt, right? Because Larian literally isn't working on much of anything else right now. They're just tossing ideas out. And they're like, while we want to do
They're
work,
too busy
let's just patch
swimming
this
through
game.
their piles of cash.
Yeah.
I mean, good on them. It's just like if they're not really working on other projects and they're just sinking time into Baldur's Gate 3, good on them.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we still want to get paid. We still
I'm
want to
just
do
hoping
work.
that like there is an update in DLC in the future
Yeah.
or like
Oh,
an
dude.
add-on.
If they add the Artificer class, I'm gonna go crazy with that game again.
All right. Best ongoing game. We have Apex.
See, now this is where I already know my answer, but I'm seeing the other options and I'm like, what the fuck?
I have a lot to say here, so I will wait till last.
I already know Anthony is going to vote Fortnite, so just say you're voting Fortnite, Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, just say it. Your silence
so
much.
I'm sorry.
Dude, the day I vote anything for Fortnite is the day I actually die and Casey hacks into all of my accounts to say Fortnite's the best game ever.
That's so real.
We all know.
Also, I'll tell your browser history.
Cyberpunk shouldn't be up there just because it had one fucking DLC.
Yeah.
Real.
Genshin, I'd say no.
Then Spider-Man PS4 should have been on here.
So I probably spent 500 hours in like Genshin. And by the like fourth expansion, it just turned into a visual novel. So I just completely dropped off the game. So I wouldn't say best ongoing for that either, just because it dropped in quality so much.
I dropped Genshin after the first, honestly. I got to like level 20, and then I started playing.
Inazuma was so fucking good, but then when Sumeru came around, the entirety of Sumeru was like, oh, here's a big empty desert, and everything's a visual novel now.
Oh, damn. I liked Venti. Venti was cool.
I'm just saying though, Final Fantasy, at least, like, it has more expansions coming out, and it's an actual just ongoing shit to where, like, even though it was released like even before Final Fantasy 15, think about that for a second, people still play it brand new. Like, people are just now starting in the game and they have like it's literally the poster child in this as like, no, this game's ongoing. Ain't nobody leaving it anytime soon.
Fortnite for the normies,
I could see Fortnite strictly because, like, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I don't care what kind of enemies I make. Fortnite's the basic bitch answer for this one.
Yeah.
So
it's really
the way I described
blame you there.
Because, like, let's be honest here, Fortnite is just like you go around like in like, obviously it's a battle royale type situation, but they just add so much stupid shit. It's like they're obviously aware. They're just like, yeah, we know how ridiculous this has gotten, and we're taking
just like they add shonen anime skins into it, like Naruto and My Hero and stuff. Yeah. Fortnite is the shonen video game of all the people. It's all the people who say they watch anime and they just watch the main shonen animes. The people who say they play video games and all they play is Fortnite. Steven, Curtis.
Cameron,
for real.
Don't be saying it's a shonen. We're gonna be getting into so many debates of what the hell is a shonen video game, and we're gonna be Casey.
Really dog shit, to be real.
Casey,
I'm gonna be so confused during that.
Casey, look at me. I'm in big mode. Look at me.
I'm looking at you. Don't worry.
Your next podcast.
It's a little delayed, but I'm looking at you.
Your next podcast, because I know you have one with your anime dudes. Your next podcast, shonen video games. What is a shonen video game? That is
okay. You want something funny? Completely separate from them. We have a panel at ALA this year, by the way, which is pretty cool.
Hey, yo. All right, I should probably go there just for support.
Get a 1 day pass. It's at like the final minutes of that 1 day, but like normal passes are really expensive. But I was actually going to apply for a panel to talk about shonen video games. Like,
do it.
That's epic.
100%.
And honestly, that is a great podcast topic. I'm totally going to bring that up to them.
Yes, 100%. That is gold right there. So yeah,
I gotta hear that.
I'll bring you on for that
published. One. You gotta at me so I can listen to that.
Yeah, please add us all. So yeah, the normie answer is absolutely Fortnite, but Final Fantasy 16 absolutely takes it because it's
14.
14. Thank you, Jesus. I mean,
think about it this way. Okay, like, I want to like also say this right now. You're comparing a battle royale game to a fucking MMO. What do you think's gonna win?
Well, I think comparing like genres like that, I don't think like comparing it that way is fair to each other because
I mean like for ongoing stuff though.
I would say for ongoing and mechanics. mechanics, I would say 14 takes it over Fortnite, because most of the time Fortnite, the ongoing player experience is either new map changes, different items that are dropped within the game, different items that are taken out from the game, or what they did back at the start of Season 4 with the mobility options that they did for like mantling and parkour, which they took out because there was that big-ass bug. I really wish they would fix that because it was so nice.
Mantling?
Yeah, you could like mantle off of stuff when
You can still mantle.
You can?
Yeah.
Or do Fortnite just like Apex, where they're like, oh, we're bringing back the first map, where Apex is like, guess what, guys? It's Kings Canyon time.
Yeah, exactly. So that type of player experience, while again, everybody was asking for it, like the first map to be brought back, it's still that same type of thing of just like the player experience, or like ongoing content is just bringing back some of the old things or just kind of improving minor things. Final Fantasy XIV is doing something new every single fucking day. So
Yeah.
it absolutely takes this.
All right, you guys kind of shifted me away from my point that I was going to say here. If you're talking about best ongoing game, I feel like out of all of that, Fortnite definitely had, I'd say, its second peak this year. Obviously, we had the OG map come back, but we had stuff like they weren't afraid to experiment this year. They had Attack on Titan out at the same time as Star Wars, and you could just rip out some ODM gear or Thunder Spears or anything, and they weren't afraid to kind of step out of their comfort zone this year, and then kind of went back to their comfort zone. But in terms of ongoing, I think this year was good for Fortnite. I think before then, it was kind of beginning to fall off. Final Fantasy XIV is like the longest, I'd say, ongoing game that is consistently good. Mm-hmm. So I'd say by pure definition as well, since I haven't played it, but by pure definition, like Final Fantasy XIV is the ongoing game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can agree with those points too. It's again that thing of just like the ongoing player experience for Fortnite is adding new things, which yes, like for this season, they stepped out of the comfort zone and did some crazy wacky shit, which I am all for, but it's still that player experience of like, okay, new map, different changes, taking a few
you kind of know
adding a few
coming.
things. You know what's coming. Exactly. With Final Fantasy XIV, you kind of don't know what's coming next.
It could be anything.
Exactly. It could be fucking Nier Automata, Monster Hunter, or SpongeBob. Who knows?
Hey, yo.
Listen,
I'm
just saying,
they
dude.
Did a collab with Cup of Noodles, so SpongeBob can be next.
That's crazy.
Listen, man, I'm just saying, if I could get SpongeBob in the game and cast some fucking Faraga in the Crystal Tower, that would be
Krakatoa!
Krakatoa! Not for real. Not for real.
You're right, though.
That is my.
That would go so crazy. That would make me buy the game.
That would go hog
JC,
wild.
I'm telling you, dude. I've been trying to get people to buy it so that way I have an excuse to play it even more. Because, dude, it's like a
subscription service, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is a subscription. But here's the thing. The free trial that you get lasts a long freaking time. It lasts until you get to like level 60 or something like that.
For what
That's
again?
my buddy Jason was telling me. For Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, 14.
Oh.
So until you get to level 60, yes, then you do have to pay a subscription, but it takes a while to get to that point anyway. I could probably boot it up right now, and I haven't even played it in like 4 months, and I could still play it normally.
We gotta load up some 14 at some point.
I'm just saying.
I've kind of had a bitch of an itch to start it, but we'll start that. We have to. I have to start that after 16. I gotta take.
You have to do
one at a time.
You have to start that after Spider-Man 2 and then Final Fantasy 16. That's for sure.
True.
Yeah, you got a lot on your backlog before even thinking about 14.
Too much on my backlog.
14 should be like one of those like, all right, I'm not streaming tonight. I want to play a game.
Yeah.
Kind of games.
That's fair.
After 16.
Yeah, after 16. And speaking of games that you just turn on, not stream, I feel like Games for Impact kind of has that kind of vibe for games that are just like, I just want to throw this on. And
I've never heard of any of these.
Yeah, I know about Sheena because it was supposed to be like this Breath of the Wild-esque.
Chia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one Breath of the Wild game where you could like also jump into animals and you could like run around as a crab on sand and just be different animals. But
Yeah, I reported on this game like way back in like high school. Like just because I saw it, I ran into it.
so
Yeah, I played it
about it.
for, I played it for about an
Survival Killer
hour,
High was
and it was a lot more limited than I was expecting.
so
that's fair. That's
so
a good.
the big thing that this one talks about is like thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning and message. So that probably requires like jumping into these games and probably finishing them, which I have done nothing for.
Goodbye,
these games.
Volcano High, man.
Goodbye, Volcano
honestly,
High. You know what?
That was gonna be my vote because one reason and one reason only. The furry community is actually like high key dope. They're all really cool people, and y'all roast them too much.
No, they get roasted, but they take it. They absolutely take it. They're just like,
for real.
Whatever.
They're all so cool people.
Yeah, they're fucking dope people. I hang out with some of them at anime conventions. They're dope. But yeah,
Other than that, I have nothing else to contribute to the Games for Impact because I haven't played any of these.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to Goodbye Volcano High. Respect to the furry community. Y'all get dunked on, but you just chill. We can vibe.
For real.
Talk about let them hear you say that. I
All right.
think you're one of them.
Bro,
All right.
innovation in accessibility. Okay, so
Recognizing software
I'm
and or hardware that is pushing the
just
medium forward
saying.
by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Spider-Man 2 should
Spider-Man.
not be on here. What?
What?
Why?
whoa.
Dude, have you gone through the accessibility settings?
I mean, I have, but I'm just saying, bro. Actually, wait.
The amount of accessibility settings in Spider-Man 2 is wild. Even being able to turn off
You're
Spin
right.
Assistant
You're right.
and
Actually-
changing. So one thing I did is, the stashes where you find tech parts?
Mhm.
I changed that to bright green so I could fucking see them halfway across the city.
Oh, smart. That's very
Diablo
smart.
4
I like
no.
that.
Not Diablo. Not Diablo.
Yeah, not Diablo.
I gotta admit, I did just do a report on this kind of like thing. I did a paper on it, and I'd say Spider-Man 2, just because it's extensive.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Last of Us's and other first-party PlayStation titles with their accessibility. They really go pretty ham into it.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find
Then
it.
last year, I'm pretty sure. Last year, I actually think Forza won accessibility. Let me look that. I'm gonna go look that up.
Forza.
I don't usually pay attention to games for accessibility, but
2022.
I really should more
Yeah.
because it's really cool. But Spider-Man 2 was the one that kind of stood out for me this year when I was doing research on it. I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of settings here.
Familiar. There's actually video.
So I'm gonna throw a wrench in here, and I don't care what anybody says. The fact that this game allowed for something like this to happen is fucking incredible. Street Fighter 6. And here's the reason. Here's the reason. Check this out. At EVO this year, there was a player that got into brackets and he is blind.
Oh,
He's actually-
yeah.
He's actually
Yeah.
Nah, that
blind.
instant win.
Yes. And he actually got a good few rounds in there. The fact that like this was able to happen, the fact that Street Fighter 6 actually had different accessibility options for players like him who are blind. I say again.
But was it
who
the
are
accessibility
fucking
options that did it, or
blind.
was it the sound design that did it for him?
It was all of it. It was all of it. So all of the accessibility options for like sound, different things, so that way he could actually like hear different forms of impact coming his way, so he could continue to fight. The fact that like those kind of like accessibility things were in there, so that way he could get into brackets at EVO, Street Fighter 6 absolutely fucking takes it, because I've never seen anything like this. The fact that somebody who is actually like blind was at EVO taking on challenges and getting pretty goddamn far and doing really well for himself, and like I think he won. Yeah, no, he won best of 2, so he won in the winners poll. Hey, again, Street Fighter 6 absolutely takes it because it had this moment right here. The fact that like players like this can enjoy fighting games.
Imagine being the fucking guy who lost.
But dude, losing to somebody who is blind, that's gotta be
saying.
like, okay, you know what? He was blind. I'm gonna let him have that victory. I got folded by somebody who was blind. He is way better at this than me. So yeah, Street Fighter 6
entire story just convinced me, dude.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie.
I had to ruin my self-esteem.
I'm not even gonna lie here. This brings me back to when I attempted to fight Yozora in Kingdom Hearts 3 blindfolded.
Oh,
and I almost got him. I almost got him. I'm gonna be honest. I studied that fight so freaking much. I almost got him.
You should do it again.
You should stream it.
Dude, I'm way too rusty right now. I couldn't do that right now. I would have to relearn that whole fight, and I don't have the energy for that.
Yeah, get unrusty.
You know what? Fair. You know what? You know what? One of these. I'll tell you guys what. One day I'll stream the game for you guys just to see me like get back into the groove of it. But
yeah, do it.
It's gonna be a boring stream. It's just gonna be me dying over and over again, trying to do a no damage run.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
No, those are the best.
Have you seen what people watch?
Yeah, exactly. People watch Bloodborne and Elden Ring on the fucking daily, and that's just a lot of dying. So,
I mean, hey, who knows? After your
Elden
stream,
Ring
John,
clips,
maybe
I
I
have
might
a
actually
feature
boot up
shouting into
Kingdom
my
Hearts
controller.
3. I might actually boot up Kingdom Hearts 3 just to show you guys after this stream if you're down.
all
right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I might do it.
Yeah, after the voting's done, I'll probably be bouncing. So I gave up trying to finish my essay while I'm trying to multitask. I wasn't getting anything done.
Yeah, there's no point in multitasking with this stream, bud. That's not happening. There's none of that.
Okay.
Whoa.
Best.
Interesting. I didn't get this when I was originally voting.
So you
Or
didn't get
maybe
best
I just
performance.
missed
Interesting. So we have
Maybe I just missed it.
We have Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16. He played the main protagonist. We have Cameron Moggan for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We have my boy Idris Elba for Cyberpunk. Malene Libret, I probably butchered her name, and I'm so sorry, for Alan Wake 2. Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate, and Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man 2.
Okay, I want to hear what you think first, John, before I even dwell into this.
What you've actually
I think Cameron and I think the same thing. So
yeah. It does.
Yeah.
See,
everybody really knows who I'm voting for.
I know who everybody else is voting for, but here's the thing. My vote kind of goes either towards Yuri or Ben. So playing through Spider-Man 2 and hearing Yuri's Spider-Man... Well, hearing Yuri's Spider-Man and Spider-Man 1 was already a fucking treat because he nails Peter Parker to a fucking T. He's quirky, he's fun, he can be a little bit of a goofball and a worrywart, but with this one, he's getting the angsty Peter. He's getting the more aggressive Peter. Like he's getting the fucking 90s Gurge, but still, you could I feel that sense of like raw type anger emotion even before like getting to like I would say like the climax of his acting performance. But for Ben, I have seen a lot of scenes where he is going fucking in with the main character. I think the main character's name is Clive.
Wait, for Ben you said?
Yeah,
it's Clive, yeah.
Clive, yes, thank you. So his performance as Clive apparently is fucking phenomenal. And there are a lot of scenes that are very, very impactful. Like, they hit you so much within the feels. So, for me, it's either Ben or Yuri. Again, I'm getting to the point in the streams where Yuri is absolutely going to go fucking ballistic with the angry Peter. But I think Ben...
You don't even know yet, bro.
Probably had, like, a different type of, like, performance.
Also, John, sorry for the jump scare that's about to happen. But anyway,
no, I muted notifications for reactions.
So okay, thank God.
I saw it on my end, so we're good.
Okay, good. I didn't want that to just like.
Quickly, Cameron Monaghan's good. I don't think he's the greatest actor. Yuri was pretty dang good. Neil for just Asterion's amazing. I'm not even going to elaborate on that.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm going with Yuri because here's the thing with Ben. I love Ben's performance as Clive,
it's just, how do I explain this correctly? When the emotional stuff does happen, and it does, he's amazing at it. He has a wide range of emotion, but literally every other scene you're playing the game through, he's static. He's pretty static.
Okay.
Like he has that typical RPG, talk to this townsperson, do this, do that kind of vibe when it comes to talking. I'll blame direction over overall acting, because that's just where it goes. But again, like when he does have that range, that green light where it's like, okay, unload, like rip it, then he does great. But because I'm going based off of the whole game experience, Ben doesn't cut it for me.
Okay.
Yuri is 100% throughout all of it. Like that dude keeps me focused, that man keeps me intrigued, and that man is literally the voice I hear Peter Parker in the comics now.
And anyone else think that his throat looked a little too thick in most cutscenes?
For Spider-Man?
I see what you mean. That's weird. I know what you mean.
He looked like he had a very broad base of his neck, kind of like a football player neck.
Yeah,
you know.
Be honest.
I don't know if it was lighting or fading, but when you're looking at him straight on, he had a thick neck.
I'm gonna be honest, these are my only two problems with the way that Peter looks in the game. Number one, it's the haircut. That dude should have gone like an Andrew Garfield styled haircut or something like that. And then second is the waves.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that noticed the neck. I thought it was fucking crazy.
Give this man waves or spike it just a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot, but just do something. Don't give him like the, oh, my mom took me to a supercuts at 10 years old kind of haircut. He doesn't deserve that.
It's so real.
That's literally it, though. That's literally it.
That's so real.
That's so fucking real.
I want to plead my case here because, it is 110% to me between Yuri Lowenthal and Neil Newborn. I love everything Yuri's in. I don't think he's bad in anything, but also I think he's like at his peak with Peter Parker. It's so good.
He was good, Peter.
I would give it to Neil Newborn because, Anthony, as you were saying with like Clive, I think as Asterion, he has such a dynamic range, and he has a lot of fun with Asterion. Because Asterion is like your pure flirt type of character sometimes, and is also like oddly turned on by murder. And you can really tell that, even though it never tells you that. And it's a lot. It's just so much fun listening to his performance just throughout the entire game. And also, he was one of my favorite just companions to have on the party because of that. Just because his voice performance was great.
Okay.
But then again, I feel like I wouldn't mind voting Yuri Lowenthal because he is really going all out with Spider-Man 2 this time. And I mean, so did Neil Newborn, because especially since you can revive characters later on and then they talk back to you, like he goes off.
The fucking castle, man.
Okay, wait. Out of curiosity, Casey, did you beat Spider-Man 2?
No. I don't own it. I played it at one of my friends' houses.
Fair.
Cameron, what about you? Did you beat Spider-Man 2? I'm assuming
No,
right?
I'm not even done with the first act.
Am I the only person that's played Spider-Man 2 in this stream?
Well,
dude, I just made it.
I'm still preaching his name.
I just unlocked the whole Craven base things. Yeah. So it's a slow burn.
And don't say you're the only one that's played it. You're the only one that's beaten it. That there's a big difference between playing.
Okay. 6-7 hours.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, Yuri's acting in this game, like, this man has damaged his throat during recording. At least like 2 scenes. Like, this man went all frigging out for them, and you can hear it in his voice. Like, hearing his voice, like when he was yelling, especially, I was like, I just know that had to hurt. He definitely needed to get some friggin' chamomile tea after that.
Dude, I really wonder how many hours of voice lines he has.
Oh, probably tons upon tons. Not to mention the
Dude,
Spider-Core
probably
he
like
has.
5-10 times that much of Spider-Man.
So
Real.
Yuri
Also,
gets my vote. Go
Can
ahead.
I give a really
Yuri
quick
100%
shout out?
Go
I
ahead.
want to give a really quick shout out to Idris Elba. He is one of my favorite actors
true.
of all time. And he just got so screwed over because nobody played Phantom Liberty.
Nobody.
Dude,
Nobody
I wouldn't
played
say that,
Phantom
dude.
Liberty.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm like, I don't even know what he sounds like in that game, and I don't really care to find out. But it's Idris Elba. I love him.
I heard a ton of people play Phantom Liberty all saying like how completely redone the game is and how they wish that, or like they envy people who haven't played the game at all and are hopping into it for the first time with the Phantom Liberty expansion, just because it completely overhauls all like the skills and everything like that. And everybody said it's way better now.
So basically, like what they did for No Man's Sky, they did for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting, because Cyberpunk was the first game I played this year before Phantom Liberty released. So.
Yeah, and I kind of like I won't go back into Phantom Liberty, so I kind of wish I didn't play Cyberpunk until Phantom Liberty came out. But then again, I was also super upset when they cut the online version of Cyberpunk that was supposed to come out too.
Yeah,
that
you and I had a discussion about that.
Dude, Night City and multiplayer would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, it would have been super fun.
Now, okay.
Next.
Wait, no, continue. Yeah, next, because I want to talk about the next thing.
Best audio design.
Now, I don't think Spider-Man 2 will get this one. I don't.
Hi-Fi Rush.
I'm thinking Hi-Fi Rush as well.
Hi-Fi
It
Rush.
just
I love,
looks like a
not
game.
love myself some Dead Space, but Hi-Fi Rush deserves it. So, oh my god. Hi-Fi Rush is so funky. It reminded me, it honestly, a little bit, I'd say a little bit of Jet Set Radio. Just a little.
Jet Set Radio 2, it's fucking core.
Guys, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit and already went to the next one, and I already have my vote in.
Well, we'll get to that, but
we'll get to it.
I have to gush about Hi-Fi Rush's audio design, because there's another word that I think a lot of people are going to forget about this: design. This game was built around audio. Everything that happens within this game is revolved around audio. There is a consistent fucking beat that goes on for the entirety of the game, and you can continually hear it within the game, and it's perfect. It is so fucking perfect. They literally looked at like, okay, there's this one singular beat that we can work around for this entire game. How do we do that? And it was executed fucking beautifully. Like, not even just like the in-game audio prompts or anything like that, but again, sound design for everything that moves around. Like everything you see has like a different like type of tone or a different type of sound that goes along with it. The background elements all have different sounds. Enemies have different sounds because of the music that is constantly playing, because again, the game was designed around the core concept of audio. Hi-Fi Rush not getting this will be a fucking crime, but it's going to get it. I am
Dude, you converted me so fast.
John, I want to challenge you on that really
so
quick.
Hard.
What is the BPM?
BPM? Oh gosh.
Yeah. Nothing else, because I completely agree with all of your points. I just want to know what the BPM was.
I don't remember because it's been a hot minute, but the fact that like you have to like, if you want to get like hardcore serious and do a speed run of Hi-Fi Rush, you need to know the BPM for each stage.
200.
Honestly, dude, I'm even being
shut up.
No way. And it can go a little bit to 160.
Holy fuck.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm seeing
highest speed in the main game was 160.
Rush. I'm looking at trailers for it. This game looks fun as hell.
Oh, it's super fun.
Dude, I really wish I had an Xbox for it, because I only played like the littlest of it, like a little bit of a demo. I really wanted to play the rest of that game.
I just like the art style of it. I want to draw some of these characters.
Dude, Hi-Fi Rush, so good.
Yeah, goated with the sauce. Cameron, I thought I heard you for a moment.
Comment on that, because that wins that.
What's that?
I thought I heard you say something about audio design.
Oh, I was just saying not Dead Space and Resident Evil just because of the remaster. So.
Okay.
That's
yeah, Hi-Fi Rush.
Really change much.
Word.
For all the same reasons you guys said.
Absolutely deserves audio design. Best score and music.
You already know what I voted for.
Fuck, yeah. So...
You already know what I voted for.
Guys,
let me tell you this.
I want to pitch in something, but it is also a little bit... Now, out of the games that I've played, I haven't listened to the complete of Final Fantasy, so I can't comment on that. So right now, mine are between, and I haven't played all of Hi-Fi Rush, so I can't say much about that either. Haven't even touched Alan Wake 2. But the two things are between my 2 games of the year. And the thing is I love the consistency of Down by the River in Baldur's Gate 3. It feels like the perfect damn fantasy. But it's gotta go to Zelda, specifically because even the trailer popped off.
Yeah.
You know the song I'm talking about when I tell you the Tears of the Kingdom trailer song.
Yep.
It went so damn hard.
Yeah.
The entirety of this soundtrack went so damn hard. And I got to admit, am I allowed to talk about spoilers here? Have we all kind of played it?
No.
Okay. Then I'm not going to, but there is a very specific point of a story-based mission that completely begins to kind of shift the tone into something else as it reaches the end. And there was an entire section of like, I'd say at least like I could go on for hours about this soundtrack, but it was so well made, so many subtle references and redesigns. They reused, I forgot what the island was in Wind Waker, the base island, the first island you start off on.
Oh God, I really wish like my Wind Waker knowledge was greater. I wish CJ was here so he could be like, oh, that island.
I forgot the name of it, but I kept talking. They reused that and made that into a boss battle theme, and it goes so damn hard.
See, okay.
It's reusing in some aspects, right? But at the core of its game, with all of its Zonai design and all of the kind of shift that it was going to, it was really easy to tell. And it was really well at kind of telling a story while still telling it Zelda, like the Zelda way. And I got to admit, the trumpet as you're diving into the depths, like scratches my brain every time.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Zelda.
So before I talk anything, does anybody have any comments? Because I got a few things to talk about, but I want to open it up the floor to a couple of others.
I'm just going to say, first and foremost, I can't spoil anything for Final Fantasy 16, obviously, but it's been a while since the game has been able to do this. I think it was since Final Fantasy 7 Remake, to be honest with you. This soundtrack brought me to tears. It actually legitimately made me cry through a boss fight.
Damn.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really think about it. And when I mean, like, the last time I cried in Final Fantasy Remake in terms of music was hearing flowers blooming in the church.
Ooh, yeah.
This is a stark contrast of that. Like, I can't even say the track I'm thinking of specifically, because to be honest, this soundtrack, unfortunately, is something you're not going to be able to find on YouTube at its full extent. You're just not. You have to play through the game in order to hear it. But oh my freaking god, it's so atmospheric. It's so fucking good. It's not my favorite soundtrack of all time. I'm still waiting for something to beat Final Fantasy VII, if I'm being honest. Look, I can't help bringing up Final Fantasy VII. It's a perfect game for me. So, but this soundtrack, I can't even go into it as much as I can because I haven't played the game in freaking forever. Honestly, the minute I beat the game, I'm gonna start a new game plus immediately play right through. Because I tell you shit.
Fair.
Yeah, I loved myself some Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack, but I don't know, just Zelda blew me away this year.
So here's my statement. Hi-Fi Rush's audio, like the music and everything that surrounds it, is so fucking fun. It is a jam. this game takes the idea of like fun action game and evolves music around it so well. It's very effective for a lot of these stages. But the problem is it's still that one kind of note type of music that a lot of action games tend to gravitate towards. And another problem that I have is that a lot of like the big cinematic boss fight moments are linked to licensed music, which, don't get me wrong, they have great choices for licensed music within Hi-Fi Rush. Like, there are some great fucking tracks that play that are licensed, and it is nice that there is like a content creator feature to where you don't have the licensed music at all, which is nice. But I have to give it to Tears of the Kingdom because a lot of people talked about like the soundtrack for Breath of the Wild and how ambient it was, like how there wasn't like a whole lot of music, but when there was, it just felt more atmospheric, more like you're in this one specific place and there's just this simple tune that just kind of plays along. This game decided, okay, people have talked about how there was a lack of music. We need to get music back into this type of Zelda game. And from the trailer music, from like the trailer song that played, from the opening to finally landing on Hyrule, and then the trumpets when you're diving into the depths, this game like does music so fucking well, like any Zelda would. And I'm so happy that they decided to lean back towards ambient soundtracks and lean more towards into more adventurous soundtracks that Zelda is known for. So Tears of the Kingdom absolutely takes this category. It would have gone to Hi-Fi Rush if Tears of the Kingdom went towards a more ambient soundtrack. But the fact that it didn't go for the ambience, it takes the vote.
It was adventurous and ambient, I think.
Yeah,
and it was
such a good blend of ambience and adventure. It's so good. Chat, we need to get back into Tears of the Kingdom so bad. So bad.
There's a lot of things you need to get back into.
My favorite bit of Tears of the Kingdom, dude. Oh my god, it has to be the depths. By the way, I am going to place my bet on this next year. The thing that's going to win that category is Persona 3 Reload. They are completely redoing the soundtrack. Completely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And it's already so guys.
I like it. All right. Best art direction. There are...
Oh no, my phone died.
Did your phone die? What happened? Gab?
Hello?
I've got heat about this one, so I can save that if you want, or I can get it going.
You got heat.
I've got heat about this one.
Well, if he's got heat, I want to make sure that our
I want to eat.
I want to make sure that our fourth is still here. You good, my dude?
Come on,
Motherfucker,
you
put on.
You.
Yeah, my one AirPod died, so I had to swap to my other AirPod.
Real.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, cool. Just making
There we
sure.
go.
You vibe.
There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Best art direction. Casey's got beef. Grill.
You want me to beef it up real fast? Okay.
Grill.
I want you to beef it up.
Take the grill, my dude.
So you see Alan Wake 2 and you see Liza P. Get them the fuck out of here. They're indescribable. Right? Right? You see Tears of the Kingdom, right? Oh my god, some of the best art direction I've ever seen. But we've seen it before. Get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you got Hi-Fi Rush and you got Mario Wonder. Right? Mario Wonder has got to be the pure art direction, completely revamped 2D Mario and made it so much damn more expressive.
I was gonna say, for the art direction that Hi-Fi Rush did with so many amount of colors, Mario Wonder basically took those amount of colors, drank it, and then put tons upon tons of fucking ice cream in their bellies.
Dude,
and LSD
I want Mario Wonder
and just
so much.
absolutely breathe so many colors.
I want Mario Wonder so bad.
But hear me out. Hear me out, John. I'm not done.
Hearing you out.
The Hi-Fi Rush up in here takes that cell shading that we love from Tears of the Kingdom, takes that LSD wonderful stuff we love from Mario Wonder, and just makes it into this collage, and it's just I think the entire game is art, just direction, just a kind of like theoretical, like why not, right? And we look at how expressive the characters are in this game, and like the small references. You can even do something as subtle, like they allowed an entire enemy just to do JoJo poses, and you want to know why? It worked.
It worked. It worked so well. I know exactly who you're talking about, and he was a fucking blast to go through. Like his dungeon portion, it was so fun.
Seriously. And I have to admit, I love myself what they did with Mario Wonder, and I don't mind whichever one of these two wins, but I want to give it to Hi-Fi Rush just because I love how comical of a style it has.
Yeah.
It's different than a lot of things that I've seen. It's taken that cell shading idea that a lot of other games have and just kind of made it its own thing.
Yeah.
And I like it just because its art direction works in tandem with the rest of the game. Mario Wonders also does, don't get me wrong, and it's the best from Mario. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush just kind of has art direction as one of its main things.
Yeah.
And deserved it.
Like
both of them are on par. I don't mind whichever one, but my vote went to Hi-Fi Rush.
I gotta agree with you. Like Hi-Fi Rush absolutely like takes cell shading and says, okay, we can do better. Like, don't get me wrong, Mario Wonder looks fucking fantastic. The way that everything animates and how everybody looks, how every single Mario character looks like they came fresh out of the 90s, like, box art from Mario World. I love it. I love the new art direction that they went for 2D Marios. But again, those levels of cell shading that you were talking about, and the JoJo pose character, and literally every character within this game just emotes on such an amazing level. This game's art direction is fantastic. Like, it does so many good things for both its art direction and its audio design. Hi-Fi Rush is fantastic.
Real.
For real. Best narrative. Now,
if Breath of the Wild didn't exist, I would have totally given that section to Tears of the Kingdom. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, we've already seen it before. Like, I don't really know.
Narrative development in a game.
See,
I'll go last because I want to hear everybody else's points before I sink my teeth into this one.
Okay. It's not Spider-Man 2 for me. That's for sure.
Okay.
Fuck me, man. I might have to give this one to Final Fantasy 16. I just might.
Okay.
Because like, here's the thing. Like, and I'm comparing Spider-Man 2 to this because every other game. Sorry, even Baldur's Gate 3. I don't give a fuck. So
that's fair. You haven't played it, so that's fair. I don't blame you.
So I can't say shit about it. So I'm comparing these two absolute juggernauts. Okay, and Final Fantasy 16, dude, it's just way more emotional. It's got way more stuff going for it. There's a much bigger story focus to it because like it is an RPG. At the end of the day, it is an RPG. It's meant to be a storytelling based game. You know, that's just at its core, that's just what it is. And all the things that you do in that game, granted, I haven't beat it, and I still think it's better than Spider-Man 2. From what I have played, there's way more emotional depth to it, and it's not convoluted or confusing either. It's actually really straightforward, which I really do appreciate in a game, because my brain is scatterbrained. If I can't focus on the story of it, then the game loses points for me. Granted, both Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16 do it better, but again, not to spoil everything in Spider-Man 2, there's just a lot of things towards like the third half of the game where I'm just like, what are you doing exactly?
The third half?
Like, you know what I mean?
No, the third act, I got you.
You know what I mean? The third act, I'm just like, what are you doing exactly? Like, you guys have a great thing going, and don't get me wrong, everything you're doing now is freaking incredible, badass and shit, but slow it down. You know, like you're doing a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time, and you had the whole game to do that.
What are you doing exactly? So, all I'm saying is, if you guys ever do beat the game, you guys might know what I'm talking about. We may have different opinions, which is fine. But at this moment right now, in terms of just like storytelling, narrative, it's Final Fantasy 16 for me, hands down.
Okay.
Mine will be pretty quick. Baldur's Gate, just, I don't even need to expand on that. Even the narrative is fucking, or the narrator is fucking goated.
Mm-hmm.
But that's facts. The narrator is
These
gas.
two have been like gushing about Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, so I would assume that
that wasn't even gushing.
That wasn't even gushing. Oh my god!
I've been gushing about Baldur's Gate 3. I don't want to say anything about that, but I want to talk about this real fast.
Okay,
my vote's actually going to Final Fantasy.
Let's go.
So
okay.
I love myself Baldur's Gate, and the narrative is so fluid. The only thing I'd say is that the narrative begins in Baldur's Gate 3 to kind of fall off near around the third act, at least in terms of the main narrative. Like the side quests and like the long side narratives are amazing, fascinating. Everything you can really personalize is beautiful, but there's still like the main story beats that are like main story sections that you will end up sticking to no matter what. And some of them kind of begin to fall off near the third, but from everything I've heard about Final Fantasy and the little bit that I've played, it's consistently good. And don't get me wrong, so is Baldur's Gate. It's just kind of, you've already experienced so much good stuff that once you get to the ending, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, this was the ending I was kind of expecting. Whereas Final Fantasy, you kind of expect it, but it's like kind of exactly how climactic you want.
Okay.
And also, I want to spoil something about Baldur's Gate that's pretty much insignificant, but is also kind of really funny.
Go right ahead. I'll probably forget.
Do it.
So this is based in a game called Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. You fight one fucking dragon. You fight him once, and you don't even have to fight him.
Right.
Wow.
You don't even have to.
Wow.
You completely skip it. You fight one dragon. Like, don't get me wrong, the rest of the enemies, fascinating. The rest of the boss fights, amazing. There's this one really early on one that, like, completely took me out of left field. But by, like, the end of the story, by Act 3... So Act 1, completely unpredictable. Act 2, amazingly unpredictable with a ton of different routes you can take. And then Act 3 is kind of like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Right? It's then easily predictable. And that's not to say that that's a bad thing always. It's just, it's kind of like exactly what you'd expect. And it's nothing really astonishing past that in the third act story. Other than like this, again, as I bring up the side quest, but the main plot story, I feel like its narrative is a lot more rooted in everything else than the main narrative.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm getting what you putting down.
Dude, I would say something about Final Fantasy 16, but it would require me spoiling it at least a tiny bit.
Yeah, and I'd prefer if you not, because I have not touched it.
I can't.
So, Daddy is going to throw a curveball in here. Daddy's going to throw...
This motherfucker's going to say Cyberpunk.
I was going to pull out Alan Wake because none of us have played Alan Wake and he's a big Alan Wake fan.
Spider-Man 2. While I am loving the story, here's the thing. Insomniac is developing a story off of like pre-established things within a universe that already exists. Now, granted, they did a great job with Spider-Man Remastered, changing a lot of things and making a very nice story around it. Spider-Man 2 is doing a lot of things that are good right now. I haven't finished it, but I am enjoying it to a certain degree. It's that thing of like developing a new story based off of pre-established lore. Final Fantasy 16. completely different wheelhouse. You have a story that's being based off of something that exists, but is taking place within this realm, like during the before times, before like the modern days of Final Fantasy 15, before like the, like, I want to say Mediterranean times of Final Fantasy 7, for lack of a better term. And just like
it's more centered around the times of Final Fantasy 1 and 3 and 4.
Exactly. So based around those times. And from what I have heard about the narrative, it is impactful, it is emotional, and there is a lot going on with it. And that is something I can definitely appreciate, because Final Fantasy always delivers on story. However, Alan Wake 2 is something that I have been waiting for a very, very long time, because nobody knew what the hell they were going to do for Alan Wake 2 until they revealed the synopsis that it's based around both Alan and this new character Sage, where Sage comes to Saga, thank you. So she comes to Bright Falls, where Alan Wake has been trapped for so long. And she's trying to figure out like what is going on with these murders that are happening in this town, and doesn't realize that her life is connected with Alan's in a certain way. And Alan has just been trapped in this place for 13 years trying to write his way out, because that was supposed to be the way that he got out of this town, was just to write a story. But apparently he has been writing for years and years and years and has not gotten out, but he has been writing so many different things to the point where it is almost impossible to survive in this town. Like, he has basically become like a storyteller that has turned an entire town into a monster town. And Remedy does such an amazing job with stories. Alan Wake 1's story was fucking incredible. I will continue to praise Alan Wake 1 till the day I fucking die. Quantum Break, while I will admit it was a little weird how they were executing like game into TV show and then back into game, the story was still engaging to like a lot of points. And Control, that whole mystery type of storytelling was amazing. Like, I could write a book on Remedy storytelling because it is so fantastic. And I don't doubt that Alan Wake 2's story is going to blow my fucking mind. I have yet to play it, but I already know through the synopsis that I am going to fucking love it. So Alan Wake 2 takes it for me, just for the simple reason of that it is a story that has been long talked about of what the hell they would even do with it, and the fact that it's now engaging more into survival horror and more psychological horror, like to several higher degrees than the first game. I cannot wait to dive into this narrative more. Like, I so cannot wait to sink my teeth into Alan Wake 2, because I know Remedy is going to do an amazing job with this narrative. And the fact that it already exists within like this voting category tells me that, yeah, this is going to hit on a completely different level that you were not expecting. And I love me some like psychological horror type of storytelling. I love stories that'll mess with your head. That's a big reason why I love Evangelion. Like, I love stories that'll absolutely mess with you and have you guessing what is happening even after you finish it. I've gushed so much, and I haven't even touched the game. I'm so excited for Alan Wake 2.
Damn it, John.
Did I?
Oh my god.
I'll fucking buy Alan Wake. Okay, you brought up Evangelion, and I was like, God damn it, alright.
It's working. It's working. Right.
Dude, you got him so much his mic quality dropped.
Yeah, seriously.
Alright. Best game direction: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, and Tears of Die Kingdom.
Shit. Shit. It's between those two fuckers again.
Yeah.
I gotta hear what you guys think before I even make a decision, because I honestly don't.
Zelda.
I honestly don't know. Zelda?
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, Baldur's Gate 3, they thought of everything. They did everything. And then when I think of Zelda, they did everything. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Zelda took an entire year off
I'm
to
gonna go
just
popular
bug
vote for
fix.
this one.
And I think that in of itself is amazing. And Baldur's Gate 3 is just, they thought of everything. You can do everything if you want to. They really, really made it into what you want to be. But astonishingly enough, I fucking hell. I don't know. I think I voted Baldur's Gate 3, but like Zelda deserves it too.
Yeah. I'm curious because I want to know. I think I know what Cam voted for, but I'm very curious though.
Yeah, I said Zelda.
Oh, you said Zelda. Okay.
Yeah.
I for a moment I thought you were going to say Baldur's Gate.
Just because of the description though on this one.
Oh yeah, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
Well, then I'd probably say Baldur's Gate. Actually. Like
maybe I've just given it so much that I feel like Zelda deserves a little more credit.
Zelda deserves a lot of credit in this category, but if you're looking specifically at the definition, innovation in game direction and design, Baldur's Gate is like, I'd say, one of the more innovative games I've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. Especially, but then again, it was kind of based off of Dungeons and Dragons, and Zelda really, I'm convinced. I'm going through this entire process in my head. I think I'm going to go with Zelda because their powers, specifically like the runes and everything they used, really blew it out of the park. And I'd say the physics engine, especially running on Switch, had to be done with some hella good direction.
Yeah.
And my favorite little thing is that what was it? Ascend was originally just a developer tool. And then they said, fuck it, this is too useful. This is actually really cool. We could do some stuff with this. And then they made it into an actual thing. So, yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Cameron. I'm going to go with Zelda.
All right, I'm going with Zelda.
Yeah, it's not even a question for me. Like, direction, Tears of the Kingdom could have gone so many different directions. It could have stayed the same. Like, it could have done Breath of the Wild 2 again, but the amount of different things that they did in terms of design makes it stand out that much more. It is so freaking good. And as much as I would like to give it to either Mario Wonder or Alan Wake 2, shocking, I know, I have to give it to Zelda because, again, like the choices that they made for this game just really shine a light into, like, okay, they really wanted to make sure that this game took a like bigger direction and made sure that this game wanted to actually like play much more differently than Breath of the Wild. So they had to make a sequel stand out, and they definitely made this one stand out.
Right.
And now
I didn't even like
I didn't think we'd get this far. Game of the Year recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little disappointed that Final Fantasy 16 isn't even on here.
I'm disappointed that it's not action adventure, because that game is a fucking action game too.
But you know what though? At the end of the day, it's gotta be one game for me on here, and it's Spider-Man 2.
Plead thy case, boy.
Spider-Man 2 is my game of the year.
Plead thy case, boy.
My reason why is because although I do think like towards the very, very later part of the story is a bit whack, every fucking thing about Spider-Man 2 gets it right. It gets everything right. From world building to characters to how they interact with each other, the stakes that are added to it. You already know how the story's going to go no matter what, but the thing that this game does, like it does similar to the first game, is that it makes you not want those things to happen. You don't want to see the inevitable happen, but it's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do to change it. That creates a stake in not only the player's eyes, characters, because you know what's going to happen, but you don't want it to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. It's like you're able to foresee everything that happens, so you're just watching these characters build up all their friendships,
everything's going great, fine, dandy, everybody's getting along, only for it to steal that from you at the very end, and you're like, well, you too. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. It hits you like a freaking plague. Not a truck, not a bus, not a boat, not a plane, a freaking nuke of emotions. Okay? And that's only just the story and the characters themselves. I haven't even gone into how fun this game is. Like, just doing, like, random-ass quests, random-ass races, random-ass flying after drones. All of that shit is fun. There's not a single damn thing in this game that I got bored of. Not even one. And in terms of overall progression and how, like, you move around and everything, dude, this game was so vastly improved from Spider-Man 1 just by the fact that you could turn off freaking web swinging assist, to where you actually have to have a variety of skill in order to traverse through all of New York, very similar to the original Spider-Man 2 on PS2. And I haven't even mentioned the fucking web wings yet. The web wings by far is one of the best inclusions in a superhero game I've played in my entire life. This game, like, in terms of just being a sequel, it does everything. Well, maybe not everything. It does a vast majority of things just completely better than the first one by a landslide. It's not even a fucking joking matter. And not only that, everything is important. There's no side little thing where you're just like, you know what, this is just a one and done thing. No. Everything has some significance. Everything has some meaning. And the suit varieties, for one, it's fucking amazing. It's spectacular. It's ultimate. It's sensational.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. It's a web of great games. I can't think of any other Spider-Man titles. It's that fucking good.
I like it.
It's my game of the year.
Who's ready to plead thy case?
Plead thy case.
Cameron? Sorry, it's getting late.
Do
you want to go? Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
You want me to go? Okay, I go.
Easy go.
Right.
I may have run out of a lot of my luster.
Oh no, you're good.
You're chilling. What was it? Imagine the beginning of this year. You're looking forward to one game because it's the sequel to one of your favorite games of all time. And you play it. And it's so amazing. You can't stop gushing about it. And then you're sitting at this table playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends.
Oh my god.
And your friend just says, hey, there's this game that's coming out soon. I think you might like it. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, it's called Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, isn't that the campaign we're currently playing? He's like, yes, it is. Right? But I'll let you pass because, like, there's spoilers to the campaign in this game, but I'll let it pass because I think you should play it. And I'm like, fine. He's like, it's only on PC right now. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, I'm going to pre-order it on PS5. So I pre-order it on PS5. And it is the most astonishing video game. I think this is a game that I expected almost nothing from. And it is probably one of the best games I've ever played. I'd probably even say in my top 3. Baldur's Gate goddamn 3 is the perfect role-playing game, as we said earlier, but it has everything you could imagine for anyone. You can literally be anything. It's got an array of classes, right? You can multi-class into every fucking class if you want to. There's so many different ways to play this game that it's completely personal. It's it's the perfect idea of, like, as I said earlier, immersion. You really feel immersed in this world. You feel like a part of this world. From the character creator to simply, I decide I want to talk with this strange ox because I have a spell that lets me talk to animals. And it looks at me in the eyes and says, the only thing I have to tell you is moo. Right? Then upwards of 70 hours later, you run into the ox near the end of the game. And it's like, hey, bro, I remember I looked at you and I said moo. Now I'm going to help you kill a god.
What?
What game allows you to do this?
Game so
what other game allows you to do that?
I want to play this game so much.
Oh my god.
Then, again, there is an array, and something I love about this game that I realize I didn't need is it feels like an MMO without the bad things. Like, it feels like that kind of giant, expansive world that you're walking around with your party as you explore all of these different things and then get really up close and personal when you need to. It's tremendously cinematic when it wants to be. And it's blew me away. And the thing I say about an MMO is it feels like you have such this big, expansive world you can do anything with without having to wait hours or pay for a subscription or do anything. It's a one and done type of deal. And you can play this game however you want to. There's dyes, there's vanity sets, there's customizations. Hey, I ran into these two twins that looked kind of hot and I want to bang them. You can do that. You can do that if you want to. Not that I'd suggest it, but you can. Right? But you can...
Or you can die trying.
Or you can die trying, seriously. There is so many ways to craft your own story and your own experience in this game that you can't find, and I genuinely mean cannot find in any other video game I've played. It is one of the most astonishing and creative games I've ever played, and also all of the voice acting is amazing. The soundtrack is beautiful. I think it hits everywhere that it needs to be, but the pure thing that it does best is immersion. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I can't even top that. I'm not even going to try. That was so fucking good.
Because I assume you were going to say Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Gotcha. Just give it like a personal little taste. Just give like a little thing that just excites you. Just about the game. Just a little.
Okay, so really what you talked on was the immersion from... Oh, gosh. Oh, hold on, let me mute this.
You good?
Sorry. Late. Yeah, from the character creation, the ability to choose so many different kinds of classes instead of just being able to customize your character. The every little bit of flavor that's added to the game, the way you can spend however many turns trying to specifically shove a character, an enemy, off a cliff to kill them in a creative way so that nobody finds out. Like, the way you can approach all sorts of different combat situations, it's, the dialogue alone is just, you could watch just a playthrough of dialogue, skip all combat and, adventuring and everything and still be just as entertaining. The ability to just switch through so many different characters, run 5 different individual campaigns and have a different experience each time. Some things will be the same, like, oh, I did this last time, let me try and do this next time. Oh, hey, this time I talked to the squirrel and it told me something. This time I kicked it against a fucking tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's great. Sorry, I'm capped out here, by the way. My cannot compare to what I just heard.
Dude, Casey goes in when he's talking about video games. That's the part that I love about him.
Also, I want to back up your point because you brought up some things that I completely forgot as well, which, by the way, phenomenal. Love it. but you mentioned about like pushing someone off a cliff. If you kill someone and leave their body, everybody around there will know, and it will bite you in the ass later on, or something along those lines. And there's no doubt about that.
Oh, and fun fact, you can pick up an entire goblin body and store it in your pack.
That's amazing.
I still don't know how to do that, but I know that you can.
Yeah, I did that. I'm like, oh, well, instead of trying to hide this body, let's just fucking keep it with us.
Yeah, seriously. And also, you mentioned about playing like so many different characters. If you do one thing one time and then another thing something else, entirely new story beats to the main plot will open up.
My first two, believe it or not, my first two playthroughs where I made it like not even through Act 1, but I completely missed Asterion. I did not I skipped past him completely. Never knew he was there.
No, I missed where Lae'zel is originally.
Really?
And I went back and grabbed her at the end of Act 1 because I'm like, I forgot that was a character.
That's great.
And it's like one of the most crucial characters to the story beats of the game, but that doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, to the main story.
Yeah. But again, you can still just leave that person behind and have a completely different story.
Yeah, or kill her.
Yeah, if you really want to. I think there's only one character you can't, though.
And that's the ox, right? The one that says moo.
No, that's
sadly no. But he is like the goat of the game.
Okay.
Well, technically he's an ox, not a goat. So
okay.
That's fair. He is the great, the goot.
The goot, like the hoots.
That's why he's the goat. The goat.
The greatest ox all of time.
There you go. There you go. Now
he says moo.
He says moo.
Jump milk.
Okay, is it my turn? Oh boy.
It's your turn, my guy.
Buddy.
So
it's your stream.
There's so many things about this list for Game of the Year that it's just like it's hard to like narrow down a real choice because there are a couple of outliers, a few that deserve it, some that make you question why the hell they're there, and one of them makes you think, wasn't this already here? So to tackle that one point, Resident Evil 4, it was already Game of the Year when it first released. The fact that it's Game of the Year again speaks volumes of how fucking good RE4 is. Not just from a story perspective, but game perspective. Because they basically changed everything about Resident Evil when the fourth game came out. And this remake shows that, like, even though it's still a 1-to-2 remake, it still holds up to this day as one of the quintessential games in any person's library. If somebody mentions Resident Evil, then chances are they will always be talking about Resident Evil 4. And I think the remake shows that, like, yes, Resident Evil still exists and it still holds a candle to this day, and Resident Evil 4 is still one of the top dog contenders for greatest games of all time. Mario Wonder, some people may question that, like, why is this here? And it's that exact reason of just like, why is it here? Well, because it's different. It's something that not a whole lot of people were expecting. A lot of people were expecting like the next 3D Mario, like the next Mario Odyssey, but no, we were getting another 2D Mario. But instead of being the traditional, like going back to formula, going into another new Super Mario Brothers, they said, we have all these weird and crazy ideas. What if Mario just became a slime or a spike ball or a Goomba and doing stealth segments like Metal Gear? All these crazy ideas that they just said, hey, fuck it. Every single level, let's just do something crazy, weird, and fun. And it really shows that, like, you can do so much more with just a simple 2D Mario game. And the art direction that they chose, again, everything looking like it just came out of the 90s, like it looking like a true-to-life sequel to Mario World. Mario Brothers Wonder is so good. I could continue to praise this game to the high heavens because I do have a Mario bias, but it's not as strong as other biases. And you guys have hyped up so much about Baldur's Gate 3. Continuing to say to this day that Baldur's Gate 3 is absolutely quintessential for every single RPG person. Everybody that is into Dungeons and Dragons has either played a campaign of a Baldur's Gate or has played this game. There's so many things that you can do, and the best part about it is just that the way that everybody describes this game is that it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming. I feel like a lot of RPGs that have the grand scope that Baldur's Gate does feel way too overwhelming. Like when you jump into something like Skyrim or another Bethesda, where it has so much going for it in this giant open world and this role that you could be partaking in, it can be way too overwhelming. There's a lot of things
you can't that's one of the things about Baldur's Gate is you can't let it overwhelm you.
Exactly. And that's the best part about it. It's just like everything that I've heard about Baldur's Gate, it's just like there's no sense of being overwhelmed. It's like there's a lot of things to do, yes, but there's no chance you will ever feel like, oh, this is way too much, I can't be doing this. Again, the amount of stuff that is within Baldur's Gate 3, I had no idea existed. And I continue to this day marvel at the fact that the community support is on god tier levels, that they are putting in patches every single week to make sure that this game continues to breathe just new layers of fun things that you can do within this game. I cannot wait to start up Baldur's Gate 3. I can tell you that with absolute fucking certainty. Alan Wake 2 being here, that is the one that people are going to be like, why is this here? Why the fuck is this even here? It's recency bias. But I would argue against that. I would argue the recency bias is more towards Mario Brothers Wonder. Alan Wake 2 had nothing going for it. Absolutely fucking nothing. The initial release week was supposed to be between these two games. Think about that for a second. If Alan Wake 2 released in the same week as Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder, it would have been dead on fucking arrival. So the fact that they pushed the game out for a week does help its case a little bit more, because again, this game had nothing going for it. Nobody expected Alan Wake 2 literally at all. Even Alan Wake fans, we were just like, we're never going to get a sequel for this game, because the ending felt like a cliffhanger, but also felt like a resolution. It could keep going, but we don't know how it could keep going. And the fact that Remedy actually took so much time to build up this sequel to the level that it is to be put into this caliber, I think speaks volumes, instead of it being a recency biasy thing. I would heavily argue against any game that has been in the oven for quite some time as being a recency bias. Alan Wake 2 has been in production for the longest fucking time. And again, speaking of volumes for how good of a game it must be, the fact that it's already here in Game of the Year. Now, Spider-Man 2. Oh boy, Spider-Man 2. I love everything that has been going on with this game. Every single time I load it up on stream, I cannot fucking put it down.
Don't you mean Der Spiderman?
Der Spiderman, thank you. Der Spiderman. Every time I boot up a stream, I cannot put this game down. Its pacing is fantastic. The level of emotions from every single character is great. The amount of details within the story is like pulling apart pulled pork. There's so much to unravel in this game. It takes so long to talk about, and I am loving every single second of it. The quality of life changes that they made with combat, making it way more snappy. The fact that there are several layers of different forms of combat that you can do with the two Spidermans is incredibly fun. I will enjoy Spider-Man 2 to the high heavens, but the vote goes to Tears of the Kingdom for the simple reason of I have never been more hyped for a Zelda sequel in my fucking life. I was so determined to get the collector's edition for Tears of the Kingdom. I actually had Wade, who was in the call, actually go to a GameStop to make sure that a order could be secured for the collector's edition that night at release, because I was looking forward to this game so fucking much. And when I had booted it up on stream, that opening sequence of just being in the caverns, exploring the depths of Hyrule Castle and being greeted with Mummy Ganondorf, that sense of fucking terror and dread of like, oh, this is the villain. This is actually the thing that we're going to be fighting up against. And then
You call him Mummy, I call him Daddy.
Yes.
Matt Mercer for real.
Matt Mercer for real is Daddy. And
For real, on God.
The opening sequence of being on the Sky Isles, of being like that one tutorial, like kind of being in the same realm of the tutorial section as the Grand Plateau, but being on like such a bigger scale of showing how much you can do within this game. Again, Tears of the Kingdom absolutely nails atmosphere to a T. Like, it took Breath of the Wild's atmosphere and amped it up so goddamn much, along with its choice in music. I will continue to praise the choices that they made with the music, 100%, because if it was just atmospheric, it would not be the same as it is right now. Tears of the Kingdom has done so much for me as a Zelda fan. I can't go back to certain old Zeldas and look at them the same light anymore, because Tears of the Kingdom has already done so much, and I haven't even finished it. That just speaks volumes as to how fucking good and how much of an impact it has made on me fucking personally. Tears of the Kingdom is just too good for what it sets out to do, and it nails a lot of aspects for me. So that's it. Dad has pled his case. That's it.
That was one hella good vote right there.
That was a hell of a good vote. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And can't argue with that.
But yay. Look at that. We did it, boys. We did it.
We did it, finally.
We did it. It only took almost 3 hours, but we did it. We voted for all the things.
Did it really take like
Dude, the
3
discourse
hours?
is the best part.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and,
the
and I
discourse is
missed like all 3 of those hours because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are. You really are an
Good.
idiot.
So speed run. Give us everyone, no
Oh
explanation.
no.
Okay, speedrun. Best esports event.
Best esports event, Halo.
Wrong. Evo.
It's the only one I care about.
Wrong. Evo.
Halo next. Best esports coach.
All of them. They're all winners.
Okay, all winners. Okay, best esports team. Go.
FaZe, but only because of that fucking dumpstering they did at the Halo World Championships.
Actually, so real. All right.
So real.
My God, did you see what FaZe did at the latest Halo World Championships?
We have not, but I'll check it out.
In the finals, they got 8 wins in a row.
Jesus.
W.
Dumpstering.
Yeah, that's a fucking dumpstering. All right, best esports athlete. Go.
Honestly, like I said, anyone on FaZe Clan.
Okay.
Anyone on that FaZe Halo team. Like, they just absolutely fucking dumpstered.
Good job. Best esports game.
Halo Infinite, because it's the only one I watched.
Okay, good. Content creator of the year.
I'm gonna say either Some Call Me Johnny or Super Butter Buns.
Not even on the list, but we'll take those. Most anticipated game.
Oh boy, games that are coming out in 2024. I can't really think of any.
Wrong
That I'm
answer.
super excited.
Final Fantasy Rebirth. Wrong answer. Best adaptation.
Oh, right, Rebirth.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, wait, hold on. I want to revise my answer. Persona 3 Reload.
Base answer.
Yeah.
Okay, based answer. We accept
Wasn't
those.
on there, but yeah.
Based answer. It's not there, but we accept those. All right, best adaptation. Go.
Well,
One
that's
right
a
answer.
tough one. What?
There's only
There's one right answer.
I know there's one right answer, but that's a toughie to figure out what the right answer is. Fuck.
It had Pedro Pascal in it.
No.
Oh.
Hang on. What game adaptation? I know there's the Mario movie, and then I swear to God, there was one I saw earlier this year, and it's like, what was it?
There's
Well, it's
Twisted
not Sonic
Metal
2.
this year.
It's not Sonic 2. It's not.
Oh god, no, it's not Sonic 2.
Yeah, God, no.
Me
Anthony,
and Casey,
we have
we still
horror
have
stories. We got horror stories for that.
Horror
You realize we're
stories.
still gonna have to watch Sonic 3, right?
Honestly,
Oh,
probably.
come on.
I don't want to either. But
Honestly, I'm
we
probably just gonna say the Mario movie because I can't think of anything else right now.
have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't The Last of Us? Oh, that's fine, though.
That's fine.
I didn't watch The Last of Us.
You need to. It's based. It's good. I love it. Best multiplayer. Oh, wait.
Oh, you wait till John gets back.
No, I
okay.
misclicked
No,
on my
he's
goddamn
been-
Streamlabs. I misclicked on my goddamn thing.
You're an idiot.
I know. Hold on. I have a sound for that. My brain went. Okay. Best multiplayer.
Call of Duty DMZ because I played that one the most.
Okay. Fine. Best sports and race. Best sport or racing game.
Sonic Superstars.
Okay, fine. We take those.
Okay, no, that was a joke. That was a joke answer.
Good answer.
Serious. Forza.
Okay, we take those. Best sim strategy game.
Is that new Persona 5 game on there?
Tactica? No. Sadly.
No.
But we take those. Moving on. Best
Yeah,
family
sick.
game.
W. Good choice.
Best family game? There's a new Hot Wheels game out, so I'd probably say the new Hot Wheels game.
Boom. New Hot Wheels. Best family game. Best fighting game.
Oh, that's a toughie. Fuck. There's two really good ones this year.
Seriously.
For real.
Oh god. Fuck. Just because I have had more more exposure to it. Mortal Kombat 1.
Mortal Kombat 1. We take those. All right. Best
Sure,
RPG.
W.
Best RPG.
Best RPG.
There is not one right answer on this one.
Fuck. That's a toughie. Well, it's not Starfield. I know that much.
Oof.
Yeah.
You see, because here's the problem. The RPGs I should have been playing, I didn't because I was playing Persona 5 all year.
Okay, then that's best RPG. Persona 5. Moving on.
Hell
Best
yeah.
action adventure.
Best vote. Could not have said it better myself.
Honestly, best action adventure. Damn, that's a tough one because there's a lot of good ones that came out this year.
Zelda's
but
technically in this category.
I'm just gonna say Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. We take those. All right.
WW.
Best action game.
Oh fuck.
Without thinking.
Without thinking.
Fuck, I'm thinking about it now. I can't stop thinking about it. It's best action game, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Fuck. Come on. Think.
I told you not to do that.
We've got Armored Core, Dead
I know.
Island, Ghost Runner, If I Rush, and Remnant 2.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Sick.
We take those.
Good.
All right. Best VR/AR game.
Wait, they're still making those?
Yes.
Cool. Next.
Next. Okay. Still making those. Next. Moving on. Best mobile game.
What? Anyone that didn't feel the need to advertise by showing a pair of tits.
Boom.
Oh, okay, so not Honkai Star Rail.
Not Honkai Star Rail.
Basically, basically none of them.
None of them. Exactly.
No. Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah,
That's true.
fucking Hello Kitty Island Adventure wins
Okay.
then.
All right. It takes that. All right. Best debut indie game.
Sea of Stars?
Sea of Stars. We'll take those. Best indie
Actually-
game or best independent game.
Isn't Baldur's Gate 3 indie?
Yes, it is. We take
Oh
those.
my god,
Baldur's Gate
that's
3.
fucking great. Literally what I brought up.
Best community support.
Halo Infinite, and I know that's on the list. I know Destiny 2 is on the list, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
It is. All right.
Yeah, dude, Destiny died so long ago.
It did. It died.
Destiny died this year, and
Let
it's
it
fucking
just
wins
die.
best support. What was Jeff not paying attention, or was he blinded by the Sony money? What the fuck?
Maybe.
What is the rest?
Maybe. All right. So Halo Infinite, best ongoing game.
Oh, I'm gonna say Halo Infinite just because of the 180 it made.
Halo Infinite. Okay, moving on. Games for Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. Okay.
Real. Actually, sick. Good point, actually.
All right.
Very.
You asked me for games for Impact, so I chose the game with Impact in the title. What the fuck were you expecting?
You did. I should
I
have set my
love how
expectations
Genshin
lower.
Impact impacts children to have a gambling addiction. So that's good.
Impact.
Real.
That is one hell of an impact.
It is.
Genshin Impact impacts those who have a thing for children.
Ouch. Yikes.
Oh,
Moving on.
yeah.
Innovation and accessibility.
Shit, that's actually a good one. Fuck, that's actually a good question.
Street Fighter.
Does anyone? You know what? Honestly, yeah, probably Street Fighter 6, just because that more casual mode.
Street Fighter 6.
Yeah,
Six.
that's all I can think of.
All right. Best performance.
Yuri Lowenthal is Peter Parker.
Based.
Oh my
Let's go.
gosh.
Best-
W.
Best audio design. Anything.
Spider-Man 2, just because I can't get that fucking opening song out of my head.
Spider-Man 2. Best score in music.
Not Dish Spider-Man 2.
Not just Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Moving on. Best art direction.
No, I was gonna say, hang on. Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay. All right.
W.
score music. All right. Best art
Actually,
direction.
Also, I want to re-amend Best Audio Design. Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay. Based answer. Best art direction.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Based answer.
W.
Best narrative. I need to get you signed up for improv classes.
Bro, listen, I'm trying to know what fucking games. I didn't really play many games that came out this year.
So we've got
Like,
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, even though it's not going to win, Final Fantasy, and Spider-Man 2.
let's go with Final Fantasy.
Okay. Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Best narrative. All right. Best game direction.
Probably Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Hell yeah.
Finally, game of the year.
Shit.
There's only one right answer.
This is
No, there's not.
This is
There's
a
not.
hard answer. It's just a lot
There's
of good
not at
games
all, but
came
there's
out
only one
this
right
year.
answer.
Persona 5 Royal.
There you go.
Hell yeah, that
Game
is
of
the
year.
right answer. That was the correct answer.
But we would have also accepted Super Mario Brothers 2. That is a valid answer. We would have accepted that. But there you go. There you go, chat. That is Smellbringer's official list or speed run of the Game Awards for 2023. Moral of
And
the
much
story:
like most
Persona.
speedruns, it was a fucking mess.
Moral of the story is Persona gives you brain rot, and Halo is apparently getting a resurgence. So that's good.
I will consume all of the Persona brain rot. Thank you very much.
Persona,
take mine?
there is no brain, no thoughts, only Futaba,
Alrighty.
the autistic
Love you,
scrunkly.
Jonathan. I will
Oh
catch
my
you guys
Everyone's
later.
like, ooh, my
Love you, Cam.
gamer
Appreciate
girl
it.
wife. Like, no, autistic scrunkly.
Right. But we
For
did
real.
it. We did it, chat. 3 hours. That's a good stream right there. That's a good video too. That's gonna be fun to edit through.
And the thing,
Oh,
your internet
yes.
didn't even think about it. Your internet didn't even shit the bed.
I know. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
So what
I
the
like it.
fuck happened when we were streaming COD?
I don't know.
Well, you were streaming COD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that
streaming
could be
COD. It's trying to connect it
It's
too
gonna
much.
do that.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe getting in touch with my internet provider saying, "Hey, I need faster speed." Maybe it might do the trick.
I need more speed. Can you send me more speed?
Proceeds to
More
send a
speed.
gallon of fucking speed, and I just snort it all. He's like, "John, are you okay?" Wonderful. But the spiders are crawling all over me. But we did it, chat.
Alright.
Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
John, I'm gonna place all my eggs into this basket
Okay,
real quick.
do it.
Yeah. You know what I mean. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Color your knife from Persona 3 Reload.
Hey, just real fast. Just play it. Just play it.
on.
On stream?
On stream. Yeah.
Where did you? Okay, here it is.
It's muted.
Yep, there it is. Okay, hang on. I've definitely got to adjust the volume.
Because I'm placing all my stuff here. I don't care if this game don't win Game of the Year. I don't care. It gotta be nominated for it, though. Because I will pay mass amounts of money to see this performed live. Oh my god.
Oh, so fucking masterpiece.
Honestly, I'm more of this the one.
Persona 3 Reload is going to be the greatest game of all time ever known to man. And we vibe to it. That's why we vibe. We chill. We got notice who's on this sound. Oh, it is gonna be peak, and it's gonna win Game of the Year. That's just how it works. Anyway, I hope y'all have enjoyed this stream, and yeah.
I'm sorry I came in at the last possible fucking moment.
No, you made great content with the Smellbringer speed run. You can upload that to your channel. I'll edit it down for you too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need some of these clips for real.
Dude, I got you. I'll have a Google Doc with the entire stream for it, so you can edit it down too. But yeah, chat, we did it. Thank you so much for hanging, for vibing, for participating. I saw my boy Hunter giving some thoughts. I see one other person in chat also giving thoughts. I just appreciate everybody for joining in. Appreciate you fuckers in the Discord as well for just giving your thoughts and opinions for this and just adding more to this stream and adding to this idea. So I greatly appreciate your time and thoughts. So appreciate you lots. So thank you for joining us on this stream, and we're definitely going to do this more.
For sure.
Yeah.
With that chat, I'm going to bid you adieu. Stay safe, stay positive. Much love to all of you. Be sure to follow that button or hit that follow button to make sure you're notified when every stream happens.
No, make sure to follow that hit button.
Oh, follow that hit button.
For real.
Thank you. Follow that hit button.
It's someone's hit from Dragon Ball Super, and he just kills you and leaves.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I need that. Anyways.
All right.
Love
if
you.
I need to leave all of you off on one thing, play Persona 5 Royal. Anyway.
No!
Much love, chat. As always, stay fantastic. We'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.